Okay. Moo.
Hello.
Hello there, Mr. Goat, aka Sam Rolph.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm alright. I've had woke up, had about 3 coffees, 2 cigarettes, launched my Patreon, vibing.
Okay, so do you want to link the Patreon first and foremost? Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about this? Do you want to
100%.
plug?
How do I? Alright, that's fine. Where I announced it. Right, brilliant. Right, everybody in the chat. Here we go. That's my Patreon. Well, it's my Twitter that links to the Patreon.
That also works.
I'm a marketing genius.
I'm a marketing genius.
Alright, what's the plan?
Okay, the plan. So you can introduce yourself, and then, if you can share screen, we can go over some of your games, like the ones you found interesting from the weekend. Because you top 8 3 challenges, right? You top 8 Standard, Vintage, and Pioneer.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
We'll start the first one in the match I played against you. I think that's quite a good one.
Against what? Against me? Wait, let me
Yeah.
let me share the screen just a second. Let me. So can you share screen?
Yeah, I'm just logging on to match
Okay.
right now.
No worries.
Phil was ghosting confirmed.
Phil was ghosting confirmed. Phil doesn't need to ghost to beat me. We know that. We tried it.
I had like 70 tabs open, and I had to check all of them, and it was over like 4 different Google Chrome links. So I had to spend like a good minute before the game being like, right, make sure the stream's closed so people don't call me scum.
That's pretty hilarious.
Someone had a question for me. Do I love Formula One? No. I never watched it in my life.
Where are you from, Sam? And do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, I'll introduce myself. Hello everybody. I'm Sam Rolph, also known as Phil_Helmuth on Match.com. You might know me from there. What else I gotta say to myself? I'm 23. I'm a lad. I currently live in the UK, but I spent a bunch of time with my adult life in the United States, so my accent sounds really weird. Yeah, that's me.
I didn't know you spent time in the UK.
Sorry?
Well, I didn't know you spent time in the US, not UK.
Yeah, I spent about 3 years, maybe 4, over there, on and off.
What'd you do there? Like, why did you live there?
I just love it there, honestly. And I have a bunch of friends over there. I was playing a bunch of Magic there.
Oh wow.
A lot nicer lifestyle-wise, and I don't really have any connections to the UK apart from just like my nationality.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to be somewhere else for a while. So I was doing like a few month stints over in the US for a while.
So you finished school and then you started basically playing Magic professionally, I guess?
So I dropped out of college, which is the 17 and 18 years of education, just before university kind of thing. And then I started playing Magic. I moved into a house in Cardiff with Matt Folks. This is some names with Matt Folks, Peter Ward, and someone called Marley, who's not really known in my community. Okay. And then eventually Fabrizio moved into that house. So quite a shady house. But moved out there after a year and then started like living in the US on and off. Yeah, Matt the Flooded Strand. Yeah.
Matt the Flooded Strand. Okay.
I'm glad Harry remembers.
That does sound like a pretty degen house, honestly. From what little I know about the participants.
There's definitely some stories, probably not for a good stream, but I did actually like living there. It was an experience that like really, I wasn't overly confident as I am now, and I definitely learned a lot about life and what I was doing, and it definitely taught me a lot. But would I do it again? Absolutely not. No, I'm too, I'm too grown up now. I live in my own like studio apartment now, so I'm like, I wouldn't want to live with anyone else kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a really, really interesting experience, which I think is one of the upsides for playing Magic so much. I recently found that I just learned a lot of like important stuff by playing Magic. Like the first one is learning to lose, which I tend to do a lot and is actually really important. And I'm only half kidding here.
It's quite important that you've got to like, as much as you got to learn to lose and take it. Like every match of Magic, you have access to a lot of information to improve yourself, and you've got to learn how to. I guess I don't know. Being good at Magic is about finding the truth of things as quickly as possible, and not lying to yourself about like how good you are, how well positioned your deck is. And I see a lot of Magic players just be like, I will say, we'll just be like, make a point, instead of just being like, I don't know. And that's something I had to learn a lot when I started trying to get really good at Magic over the end of 2019. I begun like my Moto career, I guess, and doing it full time. And I made a like Discord group with a bunch of very good players. That's still around today. I still use it.
What group is that?
It's called TSM, Team Swan MTG.
Okay, that's cool. Didn't know that.
It's got like K Prince, Tristan, Ginky, Shoop. It's like, and Simon Nilsson. It was that group.
Yeah.
But these are all incredibly smart people that like, firstly are quite life crushers. Like they're all very smart, and even if they're not like, they don't play as much as me, they always have like important things to say and add towards my experience. So I learn an infinite amount from them.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the better ways to improve Magic is surrounding yourself with good players. Which is what I do here right now, and which is what I try to do with like other people, and like it also includes watching streams of people playing better than you, I think. So like it doesn't have to be me, but you can definitely find extremely strong people playing on stream, and that is just a really good source of learning, I think, of information.
Yeah, like even if I'm like just watching your stream, I'll just like note the things I would do differently. Like I have a notepad in my desk which I just have infinite notes on. This is like, what would I have done differently, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then like I want to improve, that kind of thing. It also just about using your time effectively than just like if you're gonna watch a stream to improve, don't just like chill out, try and be like reasonably active, focused on it. Even if you don't want to play Magic like 24 hours a day, because I don't do that. I think people have a different perception of what I actually do with my life. I think I just play leagues all week and prelims, that kind of thing. But during the week, I'm generally just doing other things, socializing. Maybe less now when COVID happened, but I'm not always in like the prelim streets every day or playing leagues. Like I don't play leagues kind of at all. But if I am trying to learn, I'll just watch streams and like learn through that metric. I think that's quite a different approach than other people take.
That's interesting that you're saying that you like play less, because I know a lot of people like their approach is just play as much as you can, get better, just do that. And I think you're right, like playing leagues is not the best way to improve. Playing prelims is slightly better because you get to play versus real decks and better players generally. But even then, the sample sizes are just so small that at the end of the day, usually it's better to watch a streamer for 5 hours than just play League, I guess. For 3 hours, I guess.
It also depends like what type of game you want to improve. Like if you want to improve on like deck selection, for example, and watching streams you get a good idea of what they're doing. But or just like playing prelims, that kind of metric. But if you're playing leagues all day, you'll get a very bad perception of like what the metagame is like, for example. And like I have a very good example of like when that actually messed me up. There was the PT just before COVID, the one in Brussels, but there was also the one in the west coast of the US, and there was one in Asia. I don't know where.
Yeah.
And it was just when the previous week. No, it was when Inverter had just come out, right? And it was clearly the best deck.
Yeah, Canister was really like streaming the deck, tuning it, and people were buying into it at that point.
Yeah, so it was a known quantity. And that weekend, I was like, I had already picked my deck for that event, and I was playing in Seoul. And I played against it in leagues, and I was like, oh, it's a fine matchup. It's kind of coin flippy. I'll do fine at the PT. Like, who cares? But like, Install was a bad deck. It was terrible. But I still regged it because I just didn't want to swap because I had been like, you know, I got like 7 trophies in a week playing it because that's all I did all week was playing Pioneer leagues. And I just messed up my event because I just didn't think it through. So, you know, it's just about trying to not lie to yourself because I definitely lied to myself at that event. You know, using it a little bit, using your time a bit better.
It's a really good point. Like, not lying to yourself is just quoted. If you manage to do that, it's really hard. It's really easy to trick yourself into playing bad decks and making bad choices, both in game and outside of game.
Yeah, it's just so easy to do that as well because of how sort of how Magic is. It's a very, you know, everything's kind of fine, but we want to be doing better than fine. You know, if you want to do results.
Yeah, exactly. It's like about finding you can settle for the okay play when that play is not gonna win you the game, and you can't, or it's just like playing bad into whatever your opponent's doing. Okay, so do you want to jump into the match?
Yeah, we can start with. Do you want to start Pioneer?
Whatever you want. It's okay.
We'll start Pioneer because it's kind of
okay. So let me full screen this. Let me actually full screen this. I don't like. Wait, what happened? Did you stop your screen share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to move
I really dislike the Discord screen share like interface, I guess.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
We could switch to like Google Hangouts or something if that's preferable.
No, I think that's fine. Even the quality is not even that bad. Okay. So you were playing Phoenix, right? And you told me you took a list you saw online and changed it a bit.
Yeah, I can quickly put that list up on screen.
Yeah, let's take a look at the list just for a second. But most people here should be familiar with the deck because I play that a lot.
This is a deck list I played.
So wait for me to. Okay, yeah. So basically, you were playing Sprite Dragons.
I played. Yeah, I had to. I think this might be your old list.
Yeah, this might be my old list.
Yeah, there was a lot of things I'd want to change about it moving forward. I think the Drakes are actually just bad.
Interesting. Okay.
I think Drakes are good in a metagame where Thoughtseize is good, and currently I don't think Thoughtseize is a good choice for the events.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time I felt like I was spinning my wheels a lot, and Kraken Drake competes with the Treasure Cruise slot in quite a few games. Of you're only playing this like mid-rangey plan, but you can't really develop threats. So again, things like Lotus Field in the post board, what you want to be doing is just like starting a thread, leaving up Dispute, Aethergast, Disdainful Stroke for the rest of the game. Yeah. That's all you want to do.
And hoping you get through. Yeah, exactly. And Drake is not good for that.
Yeah, Drake's horrific for that, and I don't like the maximized velocity plan. It often feels like if these were all just real cards that did things to the board or interacted with the board, I wouldn't need those like late game combo issues.
Okay. So like more interaction, like just play more counter spells or stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. I think that's what I would
and play
want.
more Sprite Dragons maybe. Okay, that's interesting. That's definitely an avenue we can explore.
I would probably play like 4 Sprite Dragon, 2 Brazen Barkla, that kind of list.
Yeah, and then just go full on the tempo plan, right?
Yeah. Because you still have 10 threats as well.
Yeah.
You could play like 1 Crackling Drake if you really wanted, because it's still fine to have one of threats in this deck, because you'll just find them eventually. And Crackling Drake is sometimes just very good.
Exactly. So Blue is asking about like if you want to cut all the Drakes. I actually think you can pretty easily keep like 1 Drake and play 1 Kazul Fury as a land, which works out pretty well for me. And then you still get access to like a one-shot combo, but you don't have to play all the bad cards, and you can like get rid of the velocity, and you can play like the good cards.
My issue with that is I don't like infinite tap lands in this deck.
Yeah, I agree.
The second Spike Field Hazard is actually like quite a cost, I think. So adding a card that is worse than Spike Field Hazard to the deck, but gives you this combo S finish, I think is quite a cost in your openers. But it could definitely be fine. Like I haven't got infinite reps with this deck.
Yeah, exactly. It's about trying it out, I think. Trying out new ideas. Let's see how it plays out, right?
Yeah, I feel like Pioneer is the least explored format just because of there's not many people doing stuff with it because there's no real reward for it. So it's very much just bring to light Niv every weekend, and the only innovation I've seen in the format over like the last 6 months is this Phoenix deck.
The Phoenix
And
deck
that
and the
was-
new creativity deck, right?
Sorry?
And the creativity deck, the combo deck.
Yeah, that was a Sunny Days special, and the thing is like even that deck is built horrifically. Like I haven't. It's just like a historic deck that I've taken, and it's a combo deck, and they just added 20 cards to it to play Yorion, which seems really stupid.
Yeah, I really agree about Pioneer being a format you can explore more, and I really try to explore it, but I don't think I'm a really good deck builder. Like, I can tune lists for weekends, I guess, but I really wish more people would give it a shot and just try and innovate in the format, because, yeah.
Yeah, like my issue with Pioneer is the fact that it has no identity because no one's playing it.
Yep.
And because no one's playing it, it'll never get an identity, you know?
And also,
So it's
whenever
like-
it gets like an identity, they just ban the cards because people complain. It's pretty insane.
Yeah. I love Pioneer, and I think I've complained about it a lot on Twitter. I think people think I actually just like it. But it was my favorite format up until the Inverter ban and Walking Ballista ban, the Helio. Like, those decks were very themselves. Like, the format, you could play Treasure Cruise in this format, and people were playing Augury Owl, like a 4-mana 3/3 that sometimes found you a card. Like, and you know, it's just kind of upsetting that like now the format just isn't good, and it's dominated by these like weird decks that are all built terribly. But if you just put like if you wanted to put a week into the format, you could easily break it. You know, like.
So do it. I'm waiting. I can help.
You know, like there's the Pioneer showcase, and that's one of the showcases I'm not qualified for, so I'm going to be taking that one pretty seriously.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because you know, it's if I'm qualified for all of the final showcases, then like I'm basically locked to the leaderboard. It'll be
That
very
is
difficult to
insane.
break.
Dude, you're so insane.
Sorry?
This is insane. Like your numbers you're putting up are really out of this world. And it's really impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I keep repeating this, but it's because I really am impressed. So I'm gonna stop simping for you. And
No, I appreciate it.
but it really is like astounding numbers, and I think that's we're here to learn, so we can try to do that.
I think my good results are large in part of a very much an improvement in myself, and very much the player base getting a lot softer over time. I think a year ago Magic Online was a lot tougher than it was now, and like if you look at the ringers now compared to the average players before, you know, it's just not even close. Like, in my opinion, there used to be so many ringers every weekend, but now I don't want to call out people being medium or like mediocre. Nobody's that mediocre at Magic. Everyone can win on any given weekend, that kind of thing. But it's more just people don't spend as much time testing. There's a lot worse decks played. Just look at the modern tournaments when Prowess was very clearly the best deck.
Yeah.
For example, people were playing Eldrazi Tron to beat it, and that deck didn't even beat Prowess. Even if you had Chalice, they were still unfavored. And people were like, yeah, Eldrazi Tron, Chalice is great. And no, you know, Prowess had the highest numbers, but it wasn't a high enough margin for how good the deck was. And that kind of thing where people trick themselves into making poor decisions is another thing of why I think the player base is so done.
So how do you prepare for like a big tournament? Do you, like you said, you're not really testing continuously, but do you prepare for, I guess, for the showcase finals? Would you spend time testing for each format?
So I have very different approaches for each type of tournament. When I test, we can start from PT level and work down if that's easier. For the PT level, I have a group. I'm currently on team 5% or X%. I can't remember what it is.
7%, right?
That's it. Yeah, that one. I'm on that one with Tangrams and that lot. And we a few weeks before, we all get in a Discord group. We have it very organized, and every day we're just playing matches constantly and just putting the hours in, talking about Magic. We're always communicating about it, and the Discord group is very organized. And then at the end of the day, we all know it's just to find the truth of the format in the shortest amount of time possible. So, we, run the hours and really put the work in. But when it's Magic Online tournaments, I would spend a lot of time talking with Nathan, and he's very good, firstly, and we find it very easy to communicate with each other because we're such good friends, and we both know kind of what we want.
Okay.
From the events. So for like the showcases, I'll talk to Nathan and I'll be like, I think this deck's good, and he'll be like, why aren't you just playing the best deck? And I'll be like, oh, Nathan, you're very right. I'm gonna do that.
Sounds like a good plan.
So for the showcases, that's kind of how I test. But Nathan's not around as much anymore, so I'm currently finding other ways to test. Like for the last 6-week span, I don't think me and Nathan have been in much contact. He's been like super busy with real life work, and he's got the mocks coming up. So I've been very much left to my own devices. But I've been trying to find other ways. So I've been like watching a lot of streams. I've been talking a lot with the Hive Mind. That's been a good resource. It's difficult because there's a lot of ego in the Hive Mind.
Okay.
And all these kids they're very good, but they do trick themselves into some poor thinking that like can cost them, sort of thing. So it's just figuring out the truths in what they say and like not taking anything too literally, because that way you can just scam yourself. But I guess to answer, you were talking about Wolfie's question, right?
Yeah, mostly. But also, like, I'm also interested. I think that's because preparation is such a big part of success, I think, especially in the higher levels, that it's...
Yeah, like, testing for the PT is so much different than testing for the
for sure.
Like, showcase events. Like, the Legacy event I won recently, I didn't win, I lost the finals. I just asked, like, Wambo hit me up with a deck list kind of thing.
Was that the Blue-Red Delver deck?
Yeah, like that deck was insane, and put in a lot of effort for the deck. But already I saw, like, I joined it and I was like, well, this deck has some. I'll put it up on screen real quick. Like, this deck has some flaws. We had like 3 submerges in the deck, and we didn't have these null rods. And like we're really weak to like artifact combo decks. So we're only playing 4 Force of Wills and the main deck and the Daisies. And I started off commission, and I was like, we're just gonna lose to that. And then during the event, I played against 2 artifact combo decks. I drew my null rod, and like, it's the small things like that where you just gotta take what someone says, think about it, analyze, and then just be like, right, I think it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Also, this deck looks terrifying. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is it's one of the strongest decks I think I've played in my career for Legacy. But I'm not very good at Legacy.
Oh my god.
Or Modern. I don't think I'm very good at Modern either. But yeah, this is insane.
Like, looking at this, I just want to build Ragavan, Dragon Channeler decks in Modern for the next, like, until something happens. I don't know. It's such a strong suit of 1-drops.
This deck was actually, like, unreal good. It could grind. It had large threats to close the game out quickly.
Yeah.
It had just like, if you ever open Ragavan Days on the play, you just don't lose.
God.
I remember one game, I got like Ragavan on the play. My opponent like land ball, I daze it, and then I attack them. I flip a Brainstorm. I play Brainstorm, and then I play a Fetch and I crack it. Play up a threat. I was like, this is not fair.
Oh my god. And the dazing gives you the card back to hand. Oh my god. Yeah, this looks dirty.
Yeah, it was disgusting, and like this like came out in the week, right? And I knew a bunch of players that just didn't buy Ragavans because they didn't want to like pay the money. But it was very much like a pay to win day. Like you had the Ragavans, you were more favored than anybody else before.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And again, another example of people tricking themselves. They're like, I don't want to spend $200 may not be worth it, or I don't want to like spend 4 hours renting on Magic Traders the night before, so I'm not going to do it. And it was that kind of thing. But like my winning opponent, had they had Ragavans, it was Theo, probably would have beat me. But instead they had Sprite Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So, I won that match because of it. So, it's just small things like that. We can get into the matches. I don't know if people are enjoying this kind of introspective match.
This just makes me think that, like, first of all, you should go on podcast. You can talk. You have interesting things to say, so you should try and go on podcast. And maybe we should do this more often. Maybe I should get more people on stream more often. That is But yeah, let's go. Let's get into matches. Let's see how you crushed the weekend. I mean, you and Karate Dom, right? You both kind of just did it.
Yeah, that was a really good weekend for us. We can start at match 1. So this was, I was playing against the Sunny Days combo, and I hadn't played against it before. Mm-hmm. So I was very much guesstimating. So I won the back draw. And this was my opening hand. I didn't know what my opponent was playing, but they were very Yarian, so it was very much guesswork.
Yeah. Seeing maximized velocity in your opening hand is so annoying.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I think I kept this though.
I think so. When you see Yorion, then the Drake velocity combo tends to be pretty good. So having access to velocity and like opt, you're not in a rush to get anything going, I think.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was a combo deck, but I felt like against a Yarian deck, I kind of just wanted more cards because they kind of start with 8. Even if the cards aren't like the velocity and the Phoenix isn't really real in his hand yet, it seemed fine. I bottomed the card. It was probably a land, but you couldn't see it. It was a land or something.
Sure, strategic planning. That's a pretty easy. You had like land Magma Spray opt or something. You take the opt, which is absolutely fine.
Spells, yeah. My opponent's got Island Mountain,
which is one for weird.
This point, I wasn't sure what they were playing. I thought they'd be I had seen the Sunny Days deck, so I think during this turn, I quickly ran to Bill Sid's Twitter, and I was like, right, let's look at this deck. And I just started laughing at it because like, Omen of the Sun.
Yeah, Omen of the Sun is a card.
So here, I think I cast the opt.
So would you consider here just like passing and casting a Borrower on their end step? Is that something you would want to do? Or why wouldn't you? Because you clearly didn't do it.
So I know I can set up for the cruise next time. And if I find a charter course, my turn 4 is going to be really powerful. And also, the Borrower is one of the few cards that interact with the combo. Because they need like 5 mana. It's kind of like a counterspell. You can just bounce the card they target, or you can bounce the Locust God or Sage of Fall.
Sage of something falls.
Because I'm kind of just setting up, because I don't have many threats, I need to kind of get this Phoenix into play and another threat, and then hold up this Borrower for the counter spell, because my counter package is quite light. So for example, if this card is a Lightning Axe, I would have probably just cast the Borrower to get on the board. But because it's my only piece of interaction, and I don't really know what my crew is going to be, I'd rather swap the Borrower for now.
So do you keep this Ether Gust? Yeah, you do, because now you have 2 pieces of interaction, because Gust stops either creativity or bounces the Locust God. Yeah.
But now my Brazen Bar is a little bit more freed up for, if they... I don't think there's anything to play, actually. So yeah, they play an Omen of the Sun, see they top 2 cards, so I'm not feeling too confident here.
Yeah.
This turn, I draw, rip another cruise.
Classic. But now you can play a cruise for 2 and leave your counter spells up, which is really nice.
Yeah, I saw they have no permission, so it's very easy to just like outcard them, because all their cards kind of suck.
Unsubstantiate.
I pitch the Phoenix.
Yep, makes sense. You're not hardcasting it for at least 2 turns here. That's fine.
Yeah. I also like holding the velocity to not show them that I have access to it, so they don't like leave up permission.
Yeah,
so they pass this turn, which makes me feel like they have Shock Typhoon, especially when they're shocked.
Oh, they don't have Absorb mana up. That's nice.
Yeah. So strategic planning.
Yeah,
I
take the
think
thrill.
thrill possibility because it let me leave up all my mana.
Yeah, which is really nice. What do you
I'm
plan on
worried.
discarding here? Just the unsubstantiate?
Sorry? Oh, I'm not discarding this. Oh, do you mean like
To the thrill.
this on the next one? I think I discard the maximized velocity.
Okay.
With the thrill.
So you don't care
I'm
about
fine.
revealing it.
I'm fine with showing it, and I'm also quite a ways away from like killing them in one turn.
Yeah.
And the deck list doesn't have, apart from absorb, much ways to interact. So here they play Shark. They pass again with 5 mana.
They're not attacking.
Yeah.
They want to like trade for a possible Phoenix, I guess. And if they're
I
not,
think that's correct, because they probably win the late game. I cast Frill here, pitching the velocity. Just want to cycle from my deck, get the cruise going. Find another cruise. Think I draw land here.
drawing land is pretty pog here.
Yeah.
So like, is this a turn where you're trying to go for a Phoenix?
I don't need to go for anything really, because they pass that turn free, so I can kind of put like a lot of sharks out of their range because they probably cycle on 1 because they didn't really spend a mana on turn 4. I can put Oven of the Sun out of their range. All I have to really think about is absorb. So yeah, I draw land, don't need to play anything. I can do this Brazen Borrower here, and then play my Brazen Borrower.
Okay.
While also up on the commission.
Yeah, oh right, they have Sensor too. Keep forgetting that. It seems like such a weird inclusion, the Sensor, for their deck.
Yeah, it's just sunny days adding cards at random.
just to play Yorion.
Yeah, I Brazen Borrower here. Cast both sides. And now I can start getting aggressive and not having to do anything. But I think it's fine to cast Charter Course because the Spy Buff now is kind of a brick.
Yeah.
That land.
And if you find another Phoenix, you can try and get more aggressive with this. Good draws. Okay, so you are casting the Treasure Cruise here. Oh, and actually just resolves. That's nice.
I think this was actually a bad play where I decided to get more aggressive than I needed to be.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, what can they have in their hand if they don't have Absorb, right?
Yeah. But I think they would have cycled the Sensor away if they had it on a previous turn because, I'm building up my mana. It's very difficult to utilize it here. So even if they have a 5 mana card, they only have Sensor to protect. So they'd have to have Omen of the Sun, which I already figured out isn't in their range. And then they would have to have a Sensor, which I don't think is in their range either. So I think it's fine to get aggressive here and try and
when you find 3 Phoenixes, holy shit, that is a really big reward. And suddenly they're just dead next turn.
Yeah, they have secured the waste here for free.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay.
But we already kind of figured out that Sensor is in their range.
Like, I think Sensor is the only thing you lose to here, right? Because you could just let it happen and bounce one of the things, but you probably want to bounce in response, I guess.
Yeah, I wanna.
Oh, you either got this, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Is with all that information of Sensor not being in their range, Omen of the Sun not being in their range, it would make sense for them to have one of the combo pieces, and them have not had time to cast a Fire Prophecy. So I think it's fine because they had a very clunky draw. And they only played 2 of the combo pieces. But yeah, they didn't have the Sensor, and I got on with the Aethergust.
Yeah, you got him. You got really rewarded for the aggressive line you made. You chose. Obviously, finding 2 Phoenixes is high rolling, which is nice. But even just 1 extra Phoenix would have made this clock so much faster. Really
cool. It's more that they have a bunch of Chain to the Rocks type things.
Yeah, probably.
Single creature in them down isn't really a great plan. So I just wanted to get as on the board as I could and really close up their turns. Obviously, I drew the extra Phoenix, which forced them into this line, but I was kind of just winning anyway. I had the another piece of interaction. I had a cruise.
Yeah.
Did flood out a little bit at the end, but because I played the aggressive line, the flooding never really came back to punish me. So yeah, that was good. And then game 2, I think they mulligan to like farm and don't do anything too relevant. Yeah, they mulligan.
This
They mulligan 5.
This sounds really nice.
Yeah, this sounds great. The Sprite Dragon is real good here.
Yeah. I think it's time to get back on Sprite Dragons. I think both you and Boland were right this weekend, and both of you top 8'd, right? Boland top 8'd as well.
Yep.
Congrats, by the way, to Boland. This gets Fire Prophecy.
It seemed really weird to me, right, that they cast Fire Prophecy when they had... I also made a mistake here. I should have cast my strategic planning before playing my land, because I ended up taking a Spire Bluff Canal, but they're not really going to matter in this game.
So what do you think is weird here? That they played Fire Prophecy? Did they draw a card with it? They did.
They did. It was weird that they kept Fire Prophecy in their hand when they mulliganed to 5 against Phoenix, because it's only really good against Phoenix, and they, lists aren't really playing Sprite Dragon.
Yeah, and it's not even good against Phoenix, right? It's like, it's such a bad trade for you usually.
Yeah. So here I just go triple spell, I go Opt, Wild Slash, Coach Cruise, fill up on cards, get the Phoenix back.
And like,
now
that's easy because they don't have Brew, right? So you're not... I mean, you could still get... You can't even get comboed next turn, really, right?
Yeah. They have to have 5 mana. They could put, like, a Locust God or a Sage of the Balls into play.
Yeah, but that's, like, that's beatable.
Yeah.
Like, Locust God would be annoying. So you bottom the Sprite there. That's interesting. Why did you bottom the Sprite?
Because, maybe I should have topped it. I kind of just wanted to find a Charter Course or something so I could triple spell this turn and get back enough Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But instead, I just didn't really spend the mana. But here, I just I think I cast a Cruise because I'm not really... Do I cast a Cruise here? I shouldn't cast a Cruise if I do.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you have triple counterspell. Do you have quad counterspell in hand?
Yeah, I didn't really need to do anything here.
Yeah.
I'm already ahead with the Phoenix, and I can negate a Chain to the Rock, so...
Yeah.
I know, I actually snap off the Dispute here.
Yeah.
The solo and resources.
You just really try and, like, trade as many cards as you can here, and then pull ahead with Cruise and extra Phoenixes, I think.
Yeah. Oh, so I kind of skipped over this game a bit. Something I did note that I picked up on is they had Urian, and they cast, like, 2 turns with 3 mana up, so I kind of had a feeling at the second 5 drops.
Okay. Which is, again, like, a fine trade into a Phoenix. You're just gonna get it back at some point, and it's okay. Yeah, like, from this spot... Yeah, so do you counter this?
Yeah, I just counter anything.
Okay, and they protect this with a Dispute.
I want to counter anything there because I have Cruise to pull ahead.
Yeah. So
if I use a Dobbin's Veto or a Dispute on like an Oven of the Sun, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Because that means it's not being used on my Cruise. So here I Cruise, I draw a bunch of cards.
Ooh, good draws.
I think I got Charter Course, but I don't think I cast an extra. I might cast the Opt here. I'm quite greedy. No?
No, you don't quite cast the Opt here. Wow, that is disciplined.
Yeah, I kind of just feel like I can't lose here.
Yeah, because you can still get the Phoenix back next turn if you want to, and if you find another land at the top, 8 cards of the deck. Yeah. Oh, and they don't even have the Dispute to protect it.
Bottom Spire Bluff.
Yeah. No need to play this Drake anytime soon. You're just digging for more interaction at this point, I guess.
Yeah, just another way.
Or more Phoenixes. Yeah.
Yeah, I just shock.
You just discarded the Sulfur Falls and took the shock for no reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not that it matters this game, but...
No.
It is just pretty funny.
I make a ton of small mistakes like that,
Yeah, and I think everyone's gonna make them. I mean, it's about trying to minimize them and then trying to make the big decisions right.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you're gonna have a brain fart. That's fine.
Yeah. It's hard to play optimally all the time, and my brain was already a little bit fried. I was getting pretty tired during this event. As I woke up at 3 a.m. and then played the Vintage Challenge at 8. So it was already quite a long day.
Wow, that is a long day. So they're revealing Lurus, and you have a hand that has like double interaction chart, which is just good, I guess.
Yeah, this game's really interesting actually. I think I made a few mistakes. So here, I like keeping this hand against the Lurus deck because they're probably gonna be playing Arcanist, and I have two of my best cards, so 2 Drakes against them.
Yeah. Also, they could be. It's either Arcanist or Burn, right? So why not play turn 1 Mountain here?
I think I just tunnel visioned on them being Arcanist, so I was like, yeah, they're almost 100% going to be Arcanist.
Yeah.
I'm Island and leave Lightning Axe out of my range because there's nothing I want to Lightning Axe. That was the theory, but probably should have let on Mountain because if they were Burn, I was probably losing spewing equity if I played a Swift Spear.
Yeah, exactly.
I play Arcanist.
This is the spot where I always waver on what I do. I guess you also have Unsubstantiate, so this makes it easier because it's like, do you Lightning Axe on your turn to stop them from Village Rites, or do you wait for their turn to see if they do anything?
I like waiting to do anything, just because it's kind of a tempo game.
Mm-hmm.
So here I can, take the damage, kill their card, end step, bounce their play, and then, and I can just slam a Cracking Drake on empty board.
Yeah.
And then they can't, they kind of can't pull ahead of me there.
Yeah, they would need like
Drakes. And I know they don't have Boardsies, so I'd have to draw it, and it also Stitches is at that range because they play Swamp Go.
Yeah.
Without having to play. So they might have Village Rites, but even end step they can draw 2. I slam a Drake, and then their mana's kind of tied up on the following turn, on the turn 4. They've probably got to spend 2 mana dreadboring my Drake.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna start falling behind to that. So here they don't play anything.
Yeah, which makes this an easy ignore from the Arcanist. Just take the 1.
I'm just gonna opt just to get more information. Bottom of the Sulphur Falls.
Arclight, interesting.
I think I cast Unsubstant. I don't cast anything here.
Interesting. Because, I mean, it's also pretty clear that their hand is just a bunch of pushes, probably. Or Village Rites, and, like, nothing else.
I know I didn't cast anything here.
Okay,
it's because my Lightning Axe, I know they don't have anything here, and my Lightning Axe will fuel my...
your Phoenix Stater.
So that's why I don't want to cast anything here.
I think it's pretty easy to put them on a combination of K command, Phoenix, push, and claim claim fame here. Meaning you don't even want to kill the Arcanist because it just gives them a claim target, I guess.
Mm-hmm. They have a really good turn here. They have
push.
Young Pyromancer plus Fatal Push off the passage.
Oh, nice.
That was a really good turn for them.
Again, Arcanist looks really embarrassing when you don't have the Thoughtseize. Or like a proactive thing to do. So you just cast a Drake here?
Cast a Drake, yeah. And then have some regrets because I maximize velocity. I think about pushing, decide against it. Because if they have another Fatal Push in their range, they'll just cast on their elemental, right? And then just black the push. If they don't have another Fatal Passage to kill my Drake.
Yeah,
and then if you do that, then if I do that, I think I'm fine, and then I get to save my Lightning Axe. And I wouldn't just cast the Lightning Axe on the Arcanist because I don't want to give them claim fame to get on back on the board.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. So I just leave up the Lightning Axe here. No, I cast it for no reason.
Okay,
brilliant.
Yeah, now you just give them Revolt for push. You take 3. Yeah, you should let them attack first.
Yeah, I should just let them attack first and then, just block. I even talked about the line I was doing. Yeah.
I know they have Lurus. Oh, that's a draw.
You can make mistakes, but I'm also very lucky.
Okay, see, you just killed the Pyromancer, which makes sense.
Yeah, I want the Pyromancer gone. Almost
exiled the Phoenix, yeah, I saw that.
And did it, I'm great. I think here I cast Opt.
Interesting. Why? Oh, because you want to bounce the Lurus on the stack, I guess? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you played 3 spells. Yeah. For some reason, I thought you had another Phoenix in hand. Not sure why. So they pushed. So this is 3 pushes.
Yeah. Here they just shock. They cast Lurus.
and then they cast. I'm pretty sure they cast Arcanist or Young Pyromancer. I just let it resolve.
Because you're just setting up for like next turn to. Oh, and they had to claim. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're setting up to get Phoenix back next turn and like clear half the board, I guess. You're gonna.
I think I unsub the Arcanist just to burn some of their mana. And then here.
And you don't have. It's notably you don't have Anger of the Gods in the main deck, right?
I do not. I take the Lightning Axe here.
Yeah.
I cast the Opt.
Find a chart, bottom it. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I get to clear everything.
I actually think not exiling the Lurus might be a mistake here, because they do have Call Against commands.
Yeah, I was thinking more about Claim Fame.
Yeah, it's close, I guess.
Yeah, you could be definitely right. So yeah, they have these two spells, and then they Aftermath the.
Oh, nice! You get to just kill the Arcanist.
Yeah.
Discarding the velocity.
This is a mistake from them.
Yeah, this attack was really way too aggressive, right?
Yeah. Now I get to crash.
Draw cruise. That's not a cruise.
No, but I just pass. I was trying to be defensive. Just because I still have 3 treasure cruises in my deck to go into, and they're kind of like on.
A Drake, more cantrips. You're probably top decking slightly better than they do. Yeah.
I think I Charter Course first, even though I could attack, and then.
I like Charter Course first, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the land is not doing anything, right?
River Cruise. It's too easy.
Too easy. I mean, but this is what happens with this deck, right? You've already seen 30 cards out of your deck. It makes sense for you to see all of these cards.
Yeah, so I ended up clicking the wrong button there and we skipped through the turn. But I ended up cutting strategic planning, found Lightning Axe, Magma Spray, Kraken Break, and I already have the velocity in the grave to set up the lethal on the following turn. So and they push here, I block Silver Arcanist, they go Langdo, now I have Kraken Drake plus the thing, plus I have a for Ghast to protect it.
Easy.
Just from any kind of removal. So yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah. This was a really cool game.
Game 2 is pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, I think I used to lose this matchup a lot, and then I started playing it more as a control deck than as a tempo deck.
Yeah.
That's
how I boarded. I cut the Spry Dragons.
Yeah, they tend to keep some pushes in, and then it's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, this was a really weird game. Okay, yeah. So this is when Magic Online restarted, and it did some weird stuff.
Okay. Did you keep this hand? You kept this hand on the draw. Okay, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's got all the Phoenixes, and I've got the Opt to sort of find my second land and Charter Course. I know they led on Froxa.
Yeah, and you discard a Phoenix. Pretty easy.
Here. And obviously I'm very lucky. Lands on top.
Lands
always
on top, easy. I mean, you have I think you're 80% to hit it. It makes sense. It's fine.
Yeah, it's quite a high percent, but I cast strategic planning because I want to look for like a cruise or something, or like a cheap spell.
Yeah. This is something I always consider when when I want to draw land plus something, I tend to chart a course more. But when you don't, because charted to keep both the cards you draw, unlike strategic planning. But yeah,
I kind of want to keep the second Phoenix in my hand for now.
Because of that.
Because if I cast the Charter Course and pitch the Arclight Phoenix, if they have another Croxa, then I can discard the Phoenix over like a real card.
Yeah.
And I haven't wasted my cantripness, that kind of thing. And I think here they have Young Pyromancer and Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize
and they take
Opt. Okay.
The Opt.
I can respect that, I guess.
Perfection.
I
Tapland. And then just play Spikefield Go.
And now you really hope they just don't have another Thoughtseize, right?
Even if they do, I'm drawing to lands. Oh god. They have double Croxa this turn, and I got the Ghast and the Abrade.
Which is actually just amazing for you, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy. It loads up my graveyard too.
Yeah.
And here I wrote the passage. I want to crack the land first to sort of fit my deck.
Yep.
I just cast a Crackling Drake here because it puts me on the board.
Okay.
And if their last card is Dreadball, then they're out of gas. And I kind of want to get on the board as well, instead of maybe bricking on the cruise turn. I don't think they have Seas in their range. They didn't play it on the turn. They played Young Pyro. The Croxo Claim turn, they would also play 4 Seas.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
But now I've drew a board. They are ahead on board, but I risk anger. I cast a cruise, see what I draw. And because I find the Is It Charm, I think it's fine to sort of kill their creature, chart a course. A little bit of a sequencing error. I should cast chart a course first and the Is It Charm, but I kind of knew what I was doing.
Oh, another Phoenix. But it's now you just put them on like 1 turn clock, basically.
Yeah, and I have the extra thing. Funnily enough, if I had cast a chart course this turn, I would have played the Is It Charm to draw 2 and put another Phoenix in play.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't have been able to cast a Fatal Push, and it would have gone a lot better for me. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna cast.
And you find a 1 mana spell, so you're guaranteed to get Phoenix back, I guess.
Yeah. That's what I do. I just
and just kill them. Yeah.
Yeah. And we hit the Duke Name restart, so chat. I think this is us.
This is us, yes. That's gonna be embarrassing. So I'm not sure. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. So you get to be on the play, right? Yeah, you get to be on the play easy. Did you keep this hand? No, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I had them all I wanted. Didn't do enough.
This is a good one though.
Yeah, I bottom. What did I bottom?
Really? Did you bottom? It was a chart or something. It was a cantrip.
Yeah. I think just having all the cantrips on, like, having land drops on the play is quite important.
Yeah, you're probably right. I tend to be greedy and bottom the lands.
I just didn't want to break. And here I cast Shadow Course. Probably was correct to cast Strategic Planning first, but...
Yeah, because you're set up for the land drop net, yeah.
Yeah.
I cast Chart, I discard a Phoenix, we're mirror match for now.
And then here, I just cast the Planning, take the Opt, play a land path. Because now I've got the triple spell. And obviously bottom the Steam Vents. And then, I got lucky and puts me on the board. I did bomb the Crackling Drake just because I think it's quite bad, even if it is a powerful card here.
Yeah, like I think it's really good in the late game, but in the early game, you can't really afford to tap out for it. I guess you could, but it can be pretty bad. And yeah, here I don't remember my exact hand, but I felt priced into casting my spells and resolving the cruise while you're tapped out.
Yeah. This is quite a good turn for you either way, but I'm very lucky.
Yeah, and that cruise off the top is really, really good for you, of course.
Yeah. And now I get to Shadow Course. Start to Eagos, just so I'm doing something a bit more relevant to the board.
Yeah, and I was stuck with another Phoenix in hand, so I decided to put this on the bottom because I didn't have cantrips. I didn't have enough cantrips, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was just a Drake, I think, right?
Oh yeah, this is the turn where I just felt like I just never losing. Because now I get to just like add the lightning axe, kill the cruise, and like that's the cost of Crackling Drake here, right? Like, had you have just left mana or got on the board, I was probably just losing. But here I just cast Brill, I didn't counter it.
Was basically looking for like more magma sprays to try and like get back into this game.
Yeah.
Did it? Oh, I'm casting it. Yeah, I was stuck with a bunch of Drakes, so now you're just bouncing this and I'm pretty much dead.
Yeah, I just find this.
Yeah. Easy. Game 2 was more interesting, I think, where we had like that Narset fight. Because I think I screwed up there a couple of times, but I'm not exactly sure.
I had a very awkward draw, this is why I kept it.
Oh, wow.
But I would keep this, like I have a land.
Yeah, like on the draw, I think land opt is fine. And this hand has a lot of good things going for it.
Yeah, it has a lot of cheap spells, and it has the Narset, which is the best card in these sports. obviously I can't count it here. So here I decide that it's just correct for me to jam the Sprite Dragon because while it gets me on the board, you don't have access to a Phoenix to beat it in play that way.
Yeah.
And you can't really slam a Narset into a Sprite Dragon.
Exactly.
Because if you go Narset, I go land Narset. You just falling behind, so I win the Narset parity here. So I'm like, all right, it's fine. I'll just play the Sprite Dragon. And if you don't have Magma Spray or Lightning Axe, but mainly Magma Spray, I'm like probably fine.
Yeah.
Your first
but I have the spray. I'm not feeling good about using the spray on your cards. I usually try and keep them for Phoenixes, but I feel priced into it. Don't really
This was a mistake on my part. I cast the planning.
Oh, but you could just leave a possibility up, right?
Yeah, leave up dispute possibility. But I figured that even if you have Narset, there's a high chance that I'll just draw a land to cast mine.
So I don't remember. Yeah. So this dispute is interesting. I think I might have another one in hand, but. Or I just wanted to fuel the yard for like a chart, for a cruise. But I also had a feeling that you relied on land drops, and I wanted to kind of try and punish you, which, like, I mean, would have worked.
Yeah.
I also drew the Narset here. Like, I didn't have the Narset, so I couldn't just slam it. Or I drew it like the following turn or something. Oh no, I drew it later on.
What did you do this time? Oh, you played Cruise, didn't you?
I played Cruise and I had the second dispute. That's why I disputed aggressively on the strategic planning.
Yeah.
I think, but now I get punished.
Yeah, now I just slam the Narset.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I should like just not go for the Cruise there, probably. Just wait.
Here I decide to tick up my... I think I just got the Maximize. Oh, I just got the Phoenix.
Discard Phoenix, yeah. I mean...
I just passed here because I know like I'm just ahead.
And here, this is the turn where like I have Is a Charm Phoenix in my hand, but I don't have the 6th land. So I can't protect my Phoenix. So I figured I could try and wait because you showed me the Cruise. So I figured you might, like if you go for it, I can make you tap out, I can kill the Narset, get back into this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, I never end up getting rid of this Narset.
If you had done that on this turn, I would have got to like Lightning Axe, your thing, discard the Phoenix, and then I would have gone like Planning, Cruise, and then like any spell, and I would have been in a pretty good position.
Yeah, but at least I can cast my spells because my hand at that point was like, oh right, this was the planning for 2 Phoenixes.
Yeah, this is like good for me. I mean, yeah, obviously you pass again.
Hey, Will.
I don't really need to do anything for now,
Yeah.
just because of just how ahead I am.
Like my hand was like double chart, double cruise or something, and I'm just sitting there, can't do anything. And like the Phoenix and Is a Charm. Yeah.
And this is a turn I'm like, all right, I'll cast the Drake, get on the board, and I'm still holding up Lightning Axe and the Spike Field, but mainly the Lightning Axe. I think you have Narset this time, or like Lightning Axe, Narset.
So I have Lightning Axe. I can still draw a land here to kill your Narset, but at this point you have 4 Phoenixes, which is beyond terrifying. And I do have the Narset, and I don't need to use it here. That was just probably wrong. Although I don't remember if I had the Magma Spray in my hand.
This was a pretty close decision for me, where I think the speed is probably out. Could be in your range, but maybe not. I'm like, right, so I just slam Ral here and just like very easily kill your Narset, have Lightning Axe to protect it, be in a good position, and you just have the Is a Charm you've been holding for ages.
Yeah, and now I have to take the Charm because it's not getting better from here on out.
Yeah.
And this was a really bad activation because I know people don't usually sideboard out the Spikefield Hazard despite me doing that, so... And I didn't need more cards in hand. Like, I'm not looking for anything. Activating this Narset was just bad.
Yeah, this is like where the game just like falls apart for you, where I get to Hazard, Jam...
I mean, to be fair, I probably lost the game once you find all 4 Phoenixes, but...
Yeah,
still.
but there was still more Magic to be played up until that point. Like,
yep, agreed.
I get.
Yeah, and here I'm just like super dead. I have a bunch of burn spells that can't hit Narsets. I have some card draw spells in hand and not enough Phoenixes, so I'm dead.
Yeah, you have the Crackling Drake, right? This is your play. You go Crackling Maximize.
Yeah. I was also trying to set this up for like a while, and I mean, as you said, having lens is really important. And I just ended up breaking because I couldn't find more, because I couldn't cast my cantrips into the Narset. So that like the Narset just won the game, and then the Phoenixes closed it too fast for me to try and set up any win.
Yeah, this game definitely fell apart for you during like the Narset sort of times.
Yeah.
And then like you needed to have not activated your Narset. And we probably have a game.
I think maybe also hard casting my Phoenix might have been just bad there on turn 4.
Yeah, that also felt pretty weird.
Yeah.
Like as much as you were on the board, it just gave me so much time to set up. So you know, I felt like I sort of pulled ahead during that time because I got to use my mana quite effectively.
Yeah, like in this matchup, a lot of the time, if you get your Phoenix first on the board, you open yourself up for like your opponent to go, like removal spell, draw spell, get your Phoenix and like swing the tempo back in a really big way. So I felt that was I said at the time that I think it's usually incorrect and this time it's correct. In retrospect, I think it's just wrong. So for me to do there. So yeah. But well played by you. I mean, you managed to leverage your slow starts with like missing land drops and stuff, and get there.
Yeah, these games last so long. Obviously, I did find the 4 Phoenixes, but I guess that's the trade-off. You just have only spells. You're gonna just find more Phoenixes.
Yeah, I mean, and it's gonna happen sometimes. Like getting the Phoenix advantage is a legit way of winning this matchup, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially. Which is why I like having so many magma sprays.
Yeah, I think my list was playing free in the end. I mean, you take a look.
What free? What do you mean magma sprays free?
Yeah. Oh no, I have 2 magma sprays.
Oh, you have 2 and 1 in the sideboard. Yeah, that's like my list, or it is very close to it.
Yeah.
Where people were playing a bunch of Wild Slash, and it's like, why would you play Wild Slash? I get it that it's nice, but half the format.
Yeah. No, I think having the 1 Wild Slash is important, just to have a proactive spell to animate Phoenix.
Yeah, I agree.
How that is.
It's like you kind of have to hedge, right? You have Spike Field, White Slash, and Magma Spray. They're all good, and Lightning Axe. They're all good at different spots, but
yeah, absolutely.
So, I know you played versus David round 5, right?
Yeah, we can do that. Am I right to just grab a smoke real quick? And then I'm down to...
Sure, we can take a break. Do you want to go over that match and then take a break, or do it beforehand?
I'll just quickly run.
Sure. So I'll give me some coffee. Chat, if you have any questions about the games or anything, write it up. Will, what's up?
Yeah.
The Will Hall is here to bully us.
Oh, I have met Will Hall in person, and that man is quite a sizable... He's got quite... I don't know how to explain it. He's very tall. And I'm like 5'8". He's quite intimidating.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, go grab a smoke. I'll be here, and I'll get me some coffee because we both have our addictions.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm addicted to coffee and cigarettes, which is not the not the most ideal combination, but it is what it is. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, sure. Okay, chat. I'll be right back too in a second, and we will continue this, which is actually going great. I really like this Turok idea. This might be Pepeka, but I really think this could be good for like the blue-white X control decks. And holy hit is so good. 6 damage is so much more than the -5/-5 of this member, which is nice. I guess this member kills the Cauldron Complete token. Complete. Which this doesn't. Okay, chat. What are you saying so far? Are we doing good? Do we need to change anything about the format of this? Cause I'm feeling pretty good about this. This is going. This has been a very good learning experience, and I just want to play more of this deck. I should just always play Shadow in every format. Really. This looks really nice. I really like the idea of having a creature that has like this card tacked onto it in pro white. So we can punish all of those Pepegas playing like a bunch of white removal spells and no bolts. Maybe even the second one over the second Kroxa. Also, I don't know how I own a Turok, because I definitely didn't rent it. I guess I maybe opened one. How much is it worth? Also here, like, Unearth is a really interesting idea. Oh, this has no shadows. Huh, interesting. If you're playing no shadows, though, you can probably play more... Like, if you were going for the backdoors version without shadows, I would just play some Swift Spears and Soulscale Mages and then Flame Rift and just make it just into... Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're not playing shadows, I would just play Mono Red Prowess Burn. Is what I'm trying to say. Because I think this is where these 11 cards are gonna fit the best next. Also, you can just play Scourge and no shadow, which is also a valid option.
I am back.
Awesome, me too. So,
really?
I was.
We can continue our review. I can show you my match against David.
Yep. And we don't have to go through all of them. Like, whatever matches you think are interesting, we can... Because I'd like to take a look at Vintage as well.
Okay, yeah, we'll do David's match, and then we can do the rest. So...
Okay.
I'm glad we skipped round 4, because I played it awfully. Most importantly, in my round 4, I cast a Izzet Charm, discard 2 cards, forget to discard my Phoenix, and then I 8-for-Gust a Phoenix, thinking I would get back 2 of them. So I 8-for-Gust my Phoenix, put it on top, reanimate 1 Phoenix,
And I'm like, oh, okay. That was a mistake. I still won that game, but it was close.
I mean, when you're winning tournaments, it's a lot of the time because you're still making mistakes, but you get less punished than you usually would be.
Yeah. David, actually, this Sylvan character is his companion. He starts with it every game.
And it's like the old rule companion, right?
Sorry?
It's the old rule companion. You just hardcast it. You don't need to put it in your hand.
It just turns up. So I cast a Sprite Dragon here instead of spinning my wheels.
Okay.
Because I figure the Nib Mizzet deck doesn't play that many drip balls. There are a lot of vanishing verses, so Sprite Dragon's just fine here. It probably doesn't die. But obviously David has the drip ball. And he has the Caryatid. And here I'm like, well, I can't really do anything because they slam Nib. I'm just gonna lose. So I obviously stand shake this one. And then I'm like,
that is such a good draw.
Yeah, I can't just like not do anything. A for Gust again, tap land. I'm not gonna win the game if I do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, try and find a land drop. I hit the island, discard the
Phoenix. Yeah.
And I'm like, alright, let's go.
And even is a charm, which is not the worst if they go for like Bring to Light for some reason or something.
Yeah.
They don't. You Ether Gust is.
I was Ether Gusted, and I'm like, right, now I need to get some Phoenix into play. Gonna start the turn with Charter Course. I can't brick here.
That is kind of rough. Do you planning here?
I think I do planning, yeah.
Yeah.
It sees more cards.
Yeah.
And I brick.
Oh, Lightning X is so rough here.
Yeah, that was the worst.
That was the worst. Yeah. And if like my guess is that you're losing this game unless you manage to get a hit in with a Drake.
They get Utter End and a Dread Ball. But now I'm like, right, how do I play this game? I need to set it up to Kraken Drake, maximize velocity.
Yeah.
But here I slam the Kraken Drake, so I'm like, I'll find another next turn. I have Izzet Charm for a Bring to Light. David has both Drip Balls. Very lucky. Very nice.
Imagine being lucky.
Could not be me. And I think he's making mistakes here because he has 6 cards in hand. All he has to do is just not attack with his dragon, and I can't win. But this Brazen Bar is actually an insane draw because it sets me up to get the tempo game going.
Yeah.
It wants this dragon. Like it's 5 mana, it's quite a commitment. And here I play the Crash Brew, Shady Planning. I'm like, right, I need to find a Trading Cruise. Find a Trading Cruise, I'm probably winning. I break again. Hit
but Opt is not a bad draw. I mean, it just digs you deeper.
Yeah.
Only one Phoenix in the top 30, in the top like 27 cards. Kind of rough.
Like one Phoenix, no cruises in the top 27 cards. Here's Omnath here. Decide to bounce the Omnath just because I can't have him just gain 4 life.
Yeah.
Play a passage, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that is like the absolute worst case. More Izzet Charms.
On bottom the Frill, I make her out, cast another Izzet Charm. I'm like, oh, I brick again.
Oh, you found Dispute though.
I find Dispute. I'm like, right, but I've got to block with my Phoenix and get a chump in, either another Vanishing Burst. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I can't really use my Izzet Charm to protect it just because that's not how I'm winning this game. He plays Valky, which is really good for him here. And then he Slaughter Games my Crackling Break, so I'm like, okay, I'm kind of out of conditions.
Yep.
And I concede. So I don't want to show my cards. And then game 2 is a lot more interesting. I really finesse him here. So my hand's good.
Yeah.
Really sure how I sideboarded.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Living one Lightning Axe in, right? Sam?
All the Drakes, cut the maximize velocity, cut the unsubstantiate because it's kind of bad. And just like, put it like this.
Cut the maximize velocity is interesting because I tend to try and set up for it. And like my plan for this matchup usually is like use Phoenix to pressure them into tapping out and then killing them with Drake.
I think when you have the Sprite Dragons, I also know I had a theory before playing this match that I've spoken to Ed a lot, and I knew that he liked to unmore ego and slaughter game build the threats and then play it like that. And I've seen him aggressively fetch slaughter games instead of like mid-mizzets before.
Okay.
I don't think it's right, but I know that's what he does. so I kind of wanted to be a bit more exploitable and not have like a card that's only good if I'm Kraken Drake.
Okay.
Again, with the turn 2 sort of uncharactered.
Well, I mean, they're playing Niv, right? It has to be the case. Blue is asking, why did we drop the Young Pyromancer for Spire Dragon? And I think the answer is, for me, it's twofold. One is that Pyromancer was hit by Vanishing Verse, which is otherwise kind of medium against you, and used to be more popular. And the second reason is that Spire Dragon's like power comes with haste and flying. So in this game, for example, if you have Spire Dragon, you get to attack in the air, but if you have a Young Pyromancer, the Caryatid is soaking 2 damage a turn. And it's like huge.
So those reasons, I think Spire Dragon is it's a better threat, I think, and it really can just take over games.
Yeah.
And it can often dodge the damage base removable sometimes.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Breaking Vanishing Verse is another boon to it. But I think Young Pyromancer could be good.
It depends on the metagame, I think.
Yeah. So here I guess go dispute the
You threw it away the is it Charm?
I think I
or the
pitched
Drake.
Kraken.
Yeah, or the Drake. Yeah, I can see it pitching the Drake. There is a Charm. Okay. I think actually pitching the Drake is better, but
Yeah, me too. I think that was a mistake. Here I think I cast Cruise for 2. Just want to restock my hand.
and just leave the Aether Gust up. Okay.
And yeah, I have the Aether Gust up. And
Nice.
if they slam a Bring to Light, I want to count that. Funnily enough, if I kept the Charm, it would have been a lot better against Bring to Light. And this is actually a play I liked. I got Opt here, I keep the Brazen Borrow, and now I'm like, well, if they slam Niv Mizzet, they're just going to die because they have the Brazen Borrow to bounce the Niv. And if they slam Bring to Light for Valky, I have I have a way of killing the Valky with the Phoenix in the grave. So I'm like, yeah, Kraken Drake, easy here.
Yep. Slam it. Oh, and you even have another Phoenix. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is exactly the point.
He Bring to Light for Valky. And then, I'm just like, alright, strategic planning, another spell, Cruise. I just cast another Chart Course because I want to save my 3-drop. And I'm just like, alright, double Phoenix, kill you Valky, deal you 3. And David plays a weird turn here. He just casts my Kraken.
Interesting.
So obviously, I'm like, yeah, good play. I'm gonna go to Cruise, bounce the Kraken Drake, put it back in my hand.
That is a cool. I love this interaction so much. Just like draw a card. Yes.
I think I made a mistake here.
Yeah. Why didn't you cast the chart to get another Phoenix into play? Maybe because of Extinction Event.
Yeah, but I think I just cast the Kraken Drake.
Post combat. Okay.
You didn't. No. I have a plan. I play the Brazen Borrow.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
If they have a wrap,
then you beat it by casting Brazen into Phoenix. Yeah. Okay. So, the Wolfie is also asking, when you're playing like long days of big tournaments, how do you rest between rounds and what do you do? And please, everyone at home, don't smoke.
So I smoke on a cigarette, which isn't the most ideal way, but there is some bone to it. It obviously it's horrific for you physically, and it has damages to your lungs, causes cancer, all these terrible things. But it does regulate your breathing when you're smoking a cigarette. It's like taking in deep breaths, and it sort of mimics that. You could just go outside and take deep breaths and actually get fresh air and not inhale the nicotine. That'd be a much better way of doing what I'm doing. But that kind of thing is very important. Just taking that minute to reflect and not let, like 5 minutes to reflect and just getting that fresh air and keeping yourself a little bit active. Because you got to like get up, go downstairs, and not just sat at your PC, sort of like, like having your brain melt. Because it's hard. It's hard to play long events. It's mentally taxing. It's physically taxing, and especially to play tight. But if you just get up, walk around, go outside, get some fresh air, no matter what the weather's like, you're gonna feel miles better than you would if you just sat at your PC watching YouTube videos or whatever. So yeah, that's what I do. I think what I see a lot of people do, which I think is horrific, they will watch like YouTube videos in between rounds or like streams, and I think that can just like cause you to just like lose focus, maybe not play your best, you know, and just
Why is that?
yeah, I can't do it. I also see a lot of people in the hive mind just like checking Twitter during games. It's like, what are you doing? Like this is not good. Like, get that out of your repertoire. You know, and that's not gonna. It's as addicting as social media is. It's not gonna be good for your for maintaining focus. So yeah, I don't like that kind of thing. But
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the biggest obstacles when you're streaming and playing big events, because I can't just step out. Like, I can just step outside and get a breath of fresh air, but it kind of collides with what I want to do on the stream. So I need to figure out like different methods, I guess, of resetting my mind, breathing deeply, because breathing is really important. I find myself not breathing a lot, um, which is why we have the breathe function with the channel points.
I've redeemed that a few times in your stream.
I know. You tend to come into the stream and just redeem that.
Yeah, I just, you know, I'm just making sure you stay in focus.
I've had.
Like, I think it is really important for that, you know, like just to stay focused during a game. Because a match of Magic, if you're playing like, as long as you know not getting rolled, you're gonna play a lot of times, you know, and you need to be able to sort of focus off. And it, you know, it's mad difficult to do that without, you know, treating it kind of like an actual sport, you know.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, treating it like an actual sport where you need to rest and give your body what it needs, like hydrate a lot, rest good at night if you can. It really helps.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're degenerate like Sam, just wake up 3 a.m., win every tournament, go back to sleep. It's like 24 hours later.
Well, I've always had insomnia, and I never have slept very well throughout
Really?
my life. And like I've tried different ways to solve it. I haven't tried melatonin because you have to get it prescribed in the UK. You can't just like pick it up from a store. But you know, I could look into that. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are like my rest days. I don't, unless there's like a good event I want to play randomly. You know, those days I'm just like, I'm laying in bed, I'm chilling out, you know, watching TV. I'm gonna try and like eat kind of reasonably, keep off coffee. I smoke less cigarettes. And then the weekends is like, you know, coffee, water, you know, like whatever you need, like caffeine, and you know, I treat it kind of like a job at the weekends, like, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That helps. Blue Sky just asked a question as well.
Yeah.
I'm just reading it. I have no problem playing big tournaments in paper, even with the high fee. I can't swear on stream, right? So
It's okay. We do that.
scare myself on MTGO though. I can't play challenges because I'm too scared. Everything's terrifying in life, and you gotta take risks. If you know what you want out of Magic Online, if you want to start playing the challenges and you want to start getting better, those are just the best places to start to improve. And are kind of like stepping stones into the more competitive world. But if you don't want to do that, then just don't play challenges. Just keep playing leagues and chill out, you know. But if you do want to play challenges, there are the smaller ones which are they're like 54 people and 32 of them cash. So all you need is like a 3-3, a 4-2, and you know, you'll cash all the events and occasionally you'll top 8. If you want a good resource, let me quickly grab the GotBots calculator. Whatever you think a win rate is, event calculator.
Is that like the GoatBots one?
Yeah, there we go. If you just look at the calculator, you can see what win rate you need to be profitable in Magic Online. And in my no, we still have challenges. Challenges in it. So you can look like 100 player challenges at a 50% win rate. You're still making 7 ticks every time you make that action. So, you know, it's fine EV. Like,
yeah.
You're not gonna lose all your money. You might have bad streaks. Everyone does. Even I. I lost like 13 team drafts in a row for like 50 tickets or whatever. You know, you know, I've had bad streaks as well, and it's just gonna happen to people, you know, like bite the bullet if you want to improve at Magic. Oh god, I didn't need to stop this. But if not, then you know, just play leagues.
And like I'll add to that I think again, if you want to play a specific challenge, you can practice for it, and then you have to start playing the challenge. Because you can play leagues as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you have to start playing challenges, and you might lose and you might win. But the more you play, the more likely you are to win. And I actually think that learning to lose, and we talked about this before a bit, learning to lose is one of the best things Magic can do for you, for everything in life, like learning to fail. And the cost on Magic Online is not that high. Of course, if you end up losing every challenge for 2 months, then you're gonna lose money. But most of the time, it's really low risk, and the experience is just really worth it, in my opinion. And yeah, game 3 versus David.
Yeah, game 3 versus David. My hand is quite mediocre.
Yeah, but you can mulligan this, really.
Yeah, it still has spells. I want to play my tap land here, and I have 5 lands.
Interesting. Because I would have kept that Spike Field for a possible agent, Notion Thief, not agent, Notion Thief.
Yeah, that could have been correct. I didn't really think people played that card, but it definitely could be fine.
Some lists tend to, yeah.
It's just the events, because taking 2 is kind of a risk, and I die to free miss it hits. Not too bad here, but it is what it is. I was very lucky here because David had a Fable Passage instead of a actual sort of land, and I rip a Phoenix. So here, my plan is if they play a Niv, I'll Disdainful Stroke it. If they play nothing, I'll just play Brazen Borrower. And it's kind of hard for them to resolve something here.
It's pretty insane how different the game looks when they have Caryatid and when they don't.
Oh yeah, I mean, David starts with every game.
David has a companion.
So here, I tap on tap, thinking about Mystical Disputes, maybe thinks about that. And I rip Bright Dragon.
Okay, it's interesting because I try to bluff from time to time when I'm playing online, but not much.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of players would just be like, either won't get it or won't buy it, but I think it's kind of free to do it here, so.
You've got to balance your range on how often you bluff, you know?
Yeah, you told me that you actually roll dice sometimes to decide what to do, right?
Yeah, if I play someone I deem like very good, and especially in limited, and if I want to sell something, but if you have your range too wide on the amount of boards you'll bluff, it's kind of like a poker thing. You'll just like you're very exploitable at that point. But if you have it too small, you're not getting that thin equity, and you basically got to think about the match, and like you got to be like, right, I want to sell a story here, and one of the key times in that, I remember I was at the World Magic Cup, the one before you won it. You
second,
right?
Can't win it.
Last one you won, or did you not win?
No, Israel didn't win. We got second in the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you won it. I remember playing against the Japanese team. I can't remember which player it was, but the Japanese team that year were just free sickos, and I wanted to sell that I had Skullduggery. And I remember I attacked, it would have been over for them to block, and I had Skullduggery, and they didn't block, and I was just like, I inside, I was screaming, I'm like, please, don't make me look stupid. And I won because of it, because I solved the story, I won the game because I got the extra 2 points damage in. But those small edges can add up, and you've got to take advantage of them. But don't, if you're not thinking about the game, there's times, right, where you'll be like, oh, I'm going to bluff this board, but on a previous time you've already told them I don't have this card, it's gonna block. So you got to think about the way the game is playing and what kind of story you want to sell for them with the cards you have.
Yeah, so I think the most interesting thing you said here was that you can't have your range be too wide as well, because at that point they can't play around everything and they will just jam into something and you can just lose, right? Like, they might have the right read just by virtue of not having any read.
Yeah, you've got to, as well as that, if you just overblock as a player, like I play a lot of events, And if people like know that like I'll bluff lava dart every time when I play prowess, eventually someone's gonna play me enough times or see my matches enough times and be like, well, he bluffs a lot. I'm just gonna call it, you know?
Yeah.
And that comes up more when you think. And I keep track of those things as well. Like the good players on Modo. Like I think Mevdev blocked me a couple of times, and then like there was a weekend where I just like didn't get scammed by. You know?
You just called it.
Notes. On players you think are like ringers, but I think this is like very exploitative. Exploitative is that the word?
Exploitable.
That you probably should be worrying about at the current, you know, the way Magic currently is.
Okay.
But yeah, moving back to the game, I play Kraken Drake here because I need some sort of punisher for them slamming a Niv, and the Kraken Drake can just deal a bunch of damage, and I actually rip Ether Gust here, which is sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you skipped a couple of turns ahead here. You click like 3 times on the skip turn button and then it just goes nuts. Valek, I'm not sure I understand. Are you sure you're looking at the same game as we do?
Match one command activate lures companion.
Yeah, I don't think that's for this game. Anyway, so at that turn you slammed the Drake. That was turn 4 and that's where we stopped. So you can.
Yeah, I think that was my turn 3.
Or yeah, this turn.
This is David's turn 4.
Yeah. And then you slam Drake. You draw the Gust, which is really nice.
Yeah, and I play the Fable Passage to shuffle. And I pass. And David slams a Niv here.
So what does he hit off of the Niv? I'm curious.
God, you have to click so many buttons when they
It's really nice when he plays Niv with only 1 mana up because it means he can double spell, which is super nice.
Oh, so he hits Slaughter Games, Dreadball, and MTGO here.
And Bring to Light, right?
And Bring to Light, yeah. So.
Yeah, this is like a really good Niv.
Yeah.
Although I'm assuming the Slaughter Games are now like at the bottom of the deck. They chose Dreadbore over this, I'm assuming.
I'm pretty sure they chose Slaughter Games.
Really? Interesting. Because I think that's a mistake here. I'm really good Slaughter Games. I think that's a pretty clear mistake here. You already have a Drake in play.
Yeah, I did say David has that game plan against me, right? That he tries and he leverages these Slaughter Games in that way.
Yeah.
But here,
I guess like David's reasoning is, like you already have the Unmoored Ego. If you get to resolve like Ego and then Slaughter Games and then kill the Drake, you have to win with like Sprite Dragons and Brazen Borrowers, which is not easy to do. And he had the Dreadbore in hand. Okay.
This is really weird from David. I think about casting the Niv, just shuffle it in, and decide against it.
Yeah.
My plan is I'm gonna Brazen Borrower,
the Niv.
And I didn't want them to just fetch Swamp and play Bring to Light again and fall behind that way.
Yeah.
It could have been correct. Like if I had a disdainful stroke, I would just say forgot the Niv.
Yeah, I think so too. Like if you have an answer to the Bring to Light, then it makes sense. But if you don't, I think it's kind of weird. And here, do you even bother Ether casting this?
No, I'm gonna Brazen Borrow what the Niv is it and play the Brazen Borrow.
And play it, yeah.
So, what card do you reckon David names here?
Kraken Drake, I'm guessing.
Would you name Kraken Drake?
That's a good question. I'm kind of biased because I can see your hand, right?
Sorry?
I'm biased because I can see your hand, and I don't know what he has except for an Armored Ego, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he is a Bring to Light, right?
Oh, and a Bring to Light, yeah.
So, he plays the Slaughter Games.
Okay.
Out of the result, he names Kraken Drake, which I think is a mistake here.
Yeah, I think you remember you said something about naming Ether Gust.
This is the following turn I would name Ether Gust.
Oh, okay.
So here I bounce the Niv. I play the Brazen Borrower. I just want to be on the board and start 10-pointing him. He has the Dispute here.
Okay, which is pretty big.
So here I rip a land, and I'm like, right, Sprite Dragon, Brilliant Possibility. Strategic Planning, pick up the cruise, and landing with Ether Gust.
Okay,
right?
And now you're in trouble if they have another Dreadbore.
Yep. but they didn't pick it up, and we know their hand is Bring to Light plus Ego, right?
Yeah.
And they could probably do both.
Yeah, like with 3 other cards in hand, they're pretty likely to have another land. Although it could be a tap land.
Yeah.
And here the Ego, and I'm guessing the Ego your Phoenixes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Arclight Phoenix. So I knew, like I said, I knew David's plan here. And he knows my deck previously, so he knows I have the Sprite Dragon in play and a second Sprite Dragon in my deck. And I'm just going to find it and tempo him out. You know? So he slams the Bring to Light. All the visit, I Aethergust it. And now I'm just like mad ahead because I get to cruise.
Yeah, you get to attack. This is legacy level like tempo.
Yeah.
You get to do some nonsense here. Also, the Rat is a really good draw, I guess.
Yeah,
are you not casting any more spells here? That's weird. Oh, you're keeping up Thrill plus. That's kind of weird.
That was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no,
you wanted to draw 2. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. Oh. Whew. Good draws. You don't have double blue right now.
Yeah, I only have a single blue. But he doesn't have that many ways to kill the Sprite Dragon, right?
It's like Dreadbore and... Like, I'm almost tempted to let this... there's no shot to let this resolve.
I thought about just disdainful stroking it, and then I could, Growl plus Cerebral Spell, but I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just beat him.
Just disputing it, you mean?
But yeah, I think I just cast, 5 spells. Or just a ton of spells.
And Sprite Dragon is insane. Yeah, I think I talked to David afterwards. So David was really bummed because he lost this to you because he said he made a mistake, and I agreed that he probably made a mistake here. And then he proceeded to top 8 the standard challenge, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
With you? Or what? Did you top 8 the previous one?
I top 8 the previous one.
Okay.
I went to sleep instead of playing the standard challenge.
Yeah. It's worth noting here that I think you could have probably played Thrill instead of a blue cantrip and had 2 counter spells up here at some point.
Right. You're definitely right.
But yeah, this is... So you just have to slam the negate on this, I think.
Yeah, I slam negate, and then David concedes.
Yeah.
But if he had unmoored egoed my...
to Aethergust?
We have a different game completely.
Because you get to... Like, the Phoenixes are not that big of a deal when your opponent has... When he has, like, Extinction Event in the deck and even play. Like, Phoenixes are beatable, but...
He could have resolved any spell from his deck.
Yeah. And he knew your hand, which makes it... most of your hand, at least.
Yeah, he knew 2 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he'd feel really stupid if he played the ego, took the Aethergust, and... Obviously, I draw an extra card, and then just gets Mystical Disputed, or whatever. But there was so many different ways for him to play that turn. Like, he could have just played the Niv, or just like slam the Niv first, and then play the Ego. And if I get gutted, that's fine. But then, because of the way he played, if I had a Mystical Dispute, I get to Mystical Dispute his Niv, and then I still have the Aethergust kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, dead card. But I think he just leveled himself with this plan that he brought, the year before, and he's like, oh, this is good, I want to do this, and then, obviously I had some, I had the right cards to sort of punish it.
And I think that play, I think the play he made wins the game a large amount of the time, but not when you already have a Sprite Dragon going on in play. He got rid of all of your good threats. You're down to 2 Sprite Dragons, and he has enough answers in his deck. But if one is already attacking, it's gonna be a problem.
I don't mind that play if he already has it. I didn't have the Sprite Dragon in play, or it was in my hand, or it was to in my deck, that kind of thing. But because I already have this creature in play, and it's gonna be a free untapping because it's already a 2/2. And I'm playing an Aethergust this turn because he already knew how the turn's going to play out because he had information. That, now I'm tapping with 3/3, and it's probably going to be a 6/6 by the end of the turn, and he's going to fall behind that way. It just seemed really like he didn't think it through completely.
I also think it goes back to picking Slaughter Games over the Dreadbore. right?
Yeah,
When,
that was another weird play as well.
especially when you already hit ego. I would say that your number one priority should just be like control the board, not die to anything, and then if the game goes long enough, Niv is probably gonna win. Especially if you get to resolve ego on Drakes, which is almost as good as slaughter games on Drakes, I guess.
Yeah. I did have the Ral, and even if he did resolve a Niv, it would have to be a good Niv as well.
Yeah.
So I Ral, kill it, you know, sort of stabilize off back.
Yeah.
But he didn't know I had the Ral access to it. I drew it on the turn after I got to use the Aether Dust.
But also, like, the Ral, the thing is, Ral doesn't actually win the game on its own, I think, most of the time.
I agree, yeah.
And that, like, at that point, if you actually got all of your threats extracted, you can lose this. But yeah, this was an interesting game, I think. I think that this matchup has a lot of agency for both sides.
Yeah. I definitely feel like Phoenix is favored though.
I agree. I tend to win the matchup. It's always super close, but you tend to have more tools and you're more efficient. And they make mistakes, and you win.
If they had a Clothis this game, I was probably dead.
What?
If they had a Clothis this game, I was probably dead. Like,
Yeah.
that's all we needed. Was just Clothis to game.
Yeah, like, they're really good draws you just can't beat. If they go, like, Caryatid into Clothis, into Niv, into, like, you're just dead, usually. But their deck is really clunky. They tend to have a bunch of tap lands, and they don't always have the Caryatid, and the Clothis is only 2 off, and it's like... And it's generally beatable, so...
I think the Niv deck just sucks.
I don't think it sucks, but...
It's just so bad. It just plays all these like mediocre cards and then just has its Battle Cruiser Magic plan. You know?
But Battlecruise Magic works when like the format doesn't have a lot of ways to punish you. And I don't think this format has a lot of ways to punish you. It's mostly Spirits, Lotus Field, and Phoenix, which are being played more right now, so...
Those are like the top 3 decks.
Hmm?
Those are like the top 3 decks.
Yeah, I agree. So I think right now it's probably not good to play Niv, but once like people start playing, you know, Pepega Gur or something to beat Phoenix, then you can just play Niv again and maybe win.
Yeah. I think the Phoenix deck, if we actually spent some time on it and built it like a tempo deck with the cruise plan, instead of like this all-in sort of Phoenix deck, it would be a lot better. And I could see it being like the best deck by far.
I mean, I had the plan, but I actually tried playing Phoenix without Phoenix. Just to play the Drake plan with Sprite Dragon and Treasure Cruise and Arcanist. But maybe I should just drop like the Drake plan and keep the Phoenixes in.
Yeah, like I just want to play maybe like 6 2-drop threats and some extra 1-drops.
Play your Ragavan and Dragon Channeler in Pioneer.
I think obviously I play that card. That card's great, but I think the Phoenix deck, the Phoenix plan is still really good. I just want to play. I want to play full Sprite Dragon. I want to play some extra, maybe Young Pyromancer, that kind of thing. So the deck.
Thing in the Ice, maybe, actually.
Yeah, Thing in the Ice could be good too. I wouldn't hate that. That card that card doesn't really impress me.
Yeah, it never did impress me, but having access to like a couple of copies is nice in some matchups. It's mostly that we need to find a good shell for Iteration.
Yeah.
Because Iteration is pretty busted. Okay, wait. The worst card of the deck, excuse me.
I love Express Iteration. That card's insane. It's just, you can't play that many proactive 1-drops.
Oh, Onion, I like it. Or that's the Modern Mono-Red? You mean Modern Izzet, right? Wait,
Yeah.
Mono-Red? That's confusing.
I can play the game I lost if we want, and or we can play Vintage.
Yeah, let's take a look at Vintage.
Alright.
Let's mix things up. So you played, I can actually show the deck on your Twitter, I think.
I can pull it up. I play Paradoxical Outcome.
Yeah, Paradoxical Outcome, you mean Urza Saga deck.
Yeah, that one.
Where's that? It's this one. So basically this is... Oh, you bring 4 Thoughtcasts. Interesting.
Yes.
4 Seals decided. Oh, wow. We have a bunch of basic islands. Okay, I never actually took a look at the deck.
It's really good.
Sid actually looks insane with Opal. Yeah.
Are you on my stream or are you on my Twitter right now?
I am on your Twitter right now, but okay, I can show you a stream, yeah.
Yeah. The power of like Urza's Saga is obviously the card's insane, right? But you just have these openers which are just like so obnoxious, like multiple times, maybe not multiple times, but you have open Urza's Saga, Mox, Time Ball. Like you just have Force, any blue card, like you know.
It's a turn 3 win, right? It's just like, it's that easy.
Yeah, it's like how are you beating these 5 cards?
By having more Force of Wheels. I mean...
Or even if you just have like, any of them, because I'm going to assemble infinite times, and I already have the threat to kill you, I'm going to find the key 100%.
Yeah.
You're not beating this. You have to have a Wasteland or something other that isn't that good.
Yeah.
But the sideboard in this deck's built kind of horrifically. These Mind Break traps were mediocre. These Hardcore recalls were not even that good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to play multiple repeals.
I swear, I thought this repeal was a reject. Like the bad counterspell. I was surprised for a second.
No, you can buy Madrid in this format. I mean, no rejects.
Yeah. And you also said you wanted to switch the card in Sound of Urza to Hull Breacher, right? Not this one.
No. I want to cut this card. This can't really bad.
You think it's bad? Really?
Yeah, because you don't have a good wish board for it.
Okay.
And it is often your worst threat, and the passive ability isn't actually that good right now. It's good in the mirror, but it's just, it's just miserable. I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay. Yeah, and you get more sideboard slots that way.
You want to still play all these artifacts because maybe cut
because of Saga, of course.
But these ones you still want access to because you can fetch them all off Urza Saga.
Yeah, makes sense.
I would probably cut the Khan for a Piffy Needle just because of how good that card is against Bazaar decks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, yeah.
Access to that.
Okay. So,
it's sweet.
Onion, we're not playing Vintage. We're here with Sam Rolph, and we're gonna look at his Vintage top 8 matches. Like, he top 8 at the Vintage Challenge, so we're gonna see some of his matches. If we have time and we feel like it, we can maybe do some Standard too, because Mutate is pretty pog. But we're gonna see how this goes.
We can start. I'm trying to remember what my matches were. This was Karate Dom, where we split.
Oh, you split the finals, right? Yeah. That's pretty pog. Works for you. So blue, I think the mono red could work, but you kind of need blue in. The problem is you don't have enough efficient cards to actually, play the Prowess package and the Phoenix package. I think with Treasure Cruise. If you want to build a shell, basically making it more of a tempo deck, I agree, but I don't think you need to play the 1-drop Prowess creatures. I'm not sure how you would want to build it though. I think you need your threats to be able to single-handedly win the game, and the 1-drops don't exactly do that.
So I've got my hand up on screen.
Yeah.
This hand's fine. I know my opponent's playing Grixis Witch, so they're quite a slow mid-range deck. So I'm like, okay, I've got the time, got the Sensei's Tops, my best card in these long games.
You have this Buster, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll keep. And then I'm just gonna let the game play itself.
Okay.
So at the end, my opponent goes Probe, they got Mox, Black Lotus.
Okay, that's kind of terrifying.
Tinker.
Oh, okay. What then?
Citadel, Brainstorm.
Welcome to Vintage. There's no way you get to untap here, right?
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, this was cool. I had fun. Next.
Let's go next, sure. Yeah, easy. Is this the top 8 match?
This is my quarterfinals, yeah.
This is your quarterfinals, okay. That's the game review. Yeah, that was a really easy game. I think you made a mistake there by not being on the play, but otherwise, I think you're good. Wow, this hand is something.
Yeah, I think I'm fucked up. I'm like, right.
Okay, wait, so what's the sequencing here? You have access to 6 mana, 2 artifacts in play, but you don't actually need to Thoughtcast here.
I get nervous, and I think that I just forecast here instead of playing my Khan.
Yeah, here just slam Karn, yeah. Do you hit the Mox though? No.
I hit Fluster.
Fluster is not bad.
Yeah.
Vintage sometimes is brutal for that, but a lot of the times it's like the games do tend to last a bit long. Oh wow. You won this game?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, well then.
I'm like, alright, spin my top. Okay, that's good. That's the plan.
Think we have a plan?
Yeah, so I'm like, alright, I'll keep the Fluster, I'll pass next time with double Fluster Storm. I'll draw the Sensei, so I'm not stacking it. And just, move the hand.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. So you're gonna pay for this with itself, yeah.
Yeah, I win the flip, I'm very lucky. I think I play the island and don't take up the Urza Saga just yet.
Yeah, because you have your mana tied up for next turn, you're just gonna slam the Tinker, probably.
I might also wait.
Okay. This Fluster is aggressive, so why did you Fluster here?
Because if I'm missing lands is good, and if they get to filter away their hand, it's pretty bad for me. Like, I can beat threat heavy hands here, because energy flux is so hard to beat from this board.
That's interesting. Okay. So you keep paying for itself. So what's your like? So what's your like line of thing? Are you just slamming the Tinker?
I just slam the Tinker because you can't
okay.
Fluster.
Because you slam it, and even if they counter this, you just get to untap, make construct. I guess you don't even make construct with the Flux in play.
Yeah, I can just sort of make. I rip repeal, so that's quite good.
Wait, how did you repeal the energy flux?
Repeal has a weird way of casting it, where when you target it, it determines its X value.
Seriously? Okay, I didn't even know that. Oh, that's actually insane. So now you just have now you just have a Citadel going on, you have a card in play, yeah.
It's one of the weird X spells that is worded really weirdly.
Because it's right? It's like you have to target, you have to like cast the exact. Oh, that's Spog.
Yeah.
And yeah, now you
So
just need to
untap
untap.
again, trigger my thing, Ancestral. I'm like, alright, Mental Misstep, whatever. I'm just gonna Fluster Storm.
Yeah.
Could have Force the Will, but I figured the life total was relevant. And yeah, I just like sort of go off from here. Like,
Yeah,
Mox
it's like-
Khan, Urza,
Oh my god, this is.
Nasa. You think I play Nasa? Oh, I scroll for a Brainstorm. Because it's just so good. So
Oh, you're down to 3 life here, yeah. But now you get to put like Lens Sapphire on top, play both.
Yeah. I think I played the land this turn already.
Oh, yeah.
And here I'm just like,
I mean,
whatever.
from here it's pretty much academic, right? So why did you fetch Soul Guide here? What are you afraid of?
It was just as good as any of the other cards. It didn't matter. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't have a lot of options here, yeah. You could fetch a Blightsteel.
I probably could have done that, yeah. And then, yeah, I'm like, whatever, I'll PO
it. And it just goes.
That was a nice game. Basically, all the games kind of look like this, where you just roll your opponent very easily.
Really? It was that. So the deck was that busted for the event?
It was quite busted. So this hand is kind of all threats and a little bit of commission.
Because PO decks. Sorry?
I think it's fine. They're preordained, not gonna fall.
Like, PO decks really struggle in games they don't draw enough Moxen, right?
What struggles, sir?
Like, when you don't have enough Moxen, then your draws are really awkward.
Yes.
In the Tinker deck. Or enough artifacts in general, like this Thoughtcast is pretty embarrassing, but this just draw is amazing.
Obviously, I could. I play the island from hand. Like, okay.
Yeah. Do you run Mystic Sanctuary?
No.
Okay.
Because you have to play Force Tears and not to play Forecast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They Mystical Tutor here, and I'm not interested in Fluster Storming it, because the card is actually, like, it's kind of just like a -1. That they get to put Ancestral on top, but I already have it covered with the Force. So I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But now I get to sort of check them, right? Because I know they're gonna just slam Flusterstorm my upkeep. So I'm like,
this works. You can just fluster this back, right?
Oh, alright, this is actually what I do. I force a will it because I want my Flusterstorm to protect from a Flusterstorm on my Tinker.
Yeah.
So I pitch the Urza, or the forecast, sorry. And then they force me. I Flusterstorm it. Because I figure, if they then fluster me back, I get enough information that I now know that they don't have a fluster. Because obviously, you fluster protect Ancestral, you're not going to hold it in case I have Tinker. So if they don't play anything else here, I know the coast is clear completely. Because they can't have anything else in their range that would counter Tinker, that wouldn't protect our Ancestral. So I don't have to wait a turn here to leave up the thing, so I just cast Tinker.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't cast Tinker. Interesting. I mean, you drew the fluster, so this kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I should have slammed it though. I was just being like.
Here is there a reason to like play Urza first, maybe?
It plays. Could be. There could be, but I already have because I have the fluster to protect, and knowing that it didn't protect their
ancestral.
Their ancestral, I'm probably fine.
Oh,
I fucked this card up. Yeah, I actually make a mistake here. This is really stupid. So they fluster. I fluster them back.
Did you target the wrong cards?
No, you only see.
Okay.
I held this. You ready?
Yeah. Are they gonna daze you?
Woo!
Oh my god. I mean, but do you play around daze? It makes sense to hold the Seed in hand, but that's why I'm saying maybe it's better to... So like on that turn, if you play Urza, they can't fluster it. They can only force away it. They don't have Pyroblast or anything, so you just get to like get ahead on board. Yeah. You get to play your land, and then next turn you get to go with like for the Tinker anyway.
That was a lot better than what I did.
I mean, whenever I get dazed, whenever I get dazed in Vintage, I feel really bad because I don't think that's a card that's really good in Vintage. And he had the Force, okay.
He had the Force. I have Sensei's top here, so I know I'm probably winning. And I find Ancestral because I'm very lucky. And I don't play it because I want to play it on the next time when the Flusterstorm can't kill it. So untap, play my Marks, play my Sea Synod, play my Forecast.
Play a bunch of more artifacts. Oh, you Scry first. You top first, okay.
Yeah, it could have been correct just to go Soaring, but... Yeah, Sensei's, I find...
Oh my god. That is one heck of a top deck there.
Yeah. So now I can just scroll, add Pack PO, play the Sensei's, leave a Fluster. They just go Soaring. So here I play the Sensei's top. I drew again, even though I shuffled.
Imagine being so unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just divination here, so it's insane.
I mean, you're just like, they're just dead at this point, right?
Yeah, I just have a million cards that can let the game play itself. I just make game actions around it and they fall behind.
I mean, yeah, at this point, they're just dead. You're super far ahead.
I don't know how I actually win this game. I think I make a ton of constructs, or I find Time Ball. I actually meant to bounce the Lotus, but I was just like autopiloting. So I just left the Lotus in play, but yeah, I just play infinite cards.
Yeah, here you get to see like the top 30-something cards of your deck.
Yeah. I think I go through my entire deck here, and I play like Khan and make like 3 constructs. Eventually, I think it's...
Did you have a Time Walk thrown in somewhere?
There might be a Time Walk in there. I think I casted like my entire deck. Yeah, there's a Time Walk in there.
Okay. There's like Time Walk, you just make a bunch of constructs.
Yeah.
Do you have a way to recast cards from the yard in this deck? No, right?
No, your wills, which is kind of unfortunate because that card's really good.
No Breach too. Sag. Quicksand is a good tech onion for Ragavan in Legacy.
I do like how immune this deck is to Graveyard Hate.
Yeah, it's really nice.
But yeah, I kind of fucked that game up a bit, but their cards just weren't as powerful as the cards I was playing. It kind of felt like...
Yeah, it definitely felt like this. I mean, you also found your threats, but like, they just had to spend all their resources trying to stop you from doing your thing. and then like you just drew into your stronger cards, and they're playing a mid-range deck, so.
Yeah, like Sensei's was huge, and
yeah,
getting to play the recall and the, on the good time that I did when I found out the Sensei's, was just like so good for me. But this deck is really good. This Evo deck. I don't know if it's the best build, but I like that your mana is islands, and you're not vulnerable to things like Wasteland as much as other decks are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, House and Monit are here. Nice.
A lot.
So, Monit is saying that 3 sagas look sus, and I kind of wanted to ask about this anyway, because why only 3?
I copied the list.
Okay.
But I think this deck is quite hungry of blue sources because of forecast and or blue cantrips. And oftentimes you just need a lot of colored mana, and if you play 4 sagas, you can have a lot of non-functional hands.
Maybe you could play that instead of the Karn in the main deck. Just the 4th saga.
You definitely could. I don't think it's an awful idea. I think I would want to pick an Eagle.
Yeah.
Make the saga a little bit better, but yeah, I'm unsure on that. I could see it both ways for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you see so many cards, you don't necessarily need 4 sagas. It's also a bit slow for Vintage. Even if it's still like insane, you don't want to flood on those. It's not like Modern when you just like play one and they're just dead because constructs are fast enough. It is. Oh, this is the classic like saga make constructs that is fast enough, right? I guess we're on the draw, so it's a bit awkward, but this hand looks really good.
Yeah, I like how we talked about us saga being bad because of colored mana, and instantly we have a hand that's
yeah, that's also true. Like this hand doesn't have colored mana, but it also kind of doesn't matter with this hand. So.
Well, my opponent's playing mono white here, and I'm infinitely punished for letting them have. The Mox Pile. I should have just forced it if I knew I had Captain, but no way of knowing. So here,
this Mox is a good draw.
Yeah. The Mox is great. I get to play.
Wait.
I only play 1 Mox because this one isn't turned on, and I want to hold up Force of Will for Archon.
Oh, okay, yeah. Force of Will is Oh wow. That's a sick draw.
Again, leaving up the Force of Will because I can't beat Archon. And they have Fawn. I'm like, alright, well, I may as well pitch this Time Walk.
So it's interesting. You pick the Time Walk, but like this PO is probably not gonna do much in the face of this Thassa, right? Thassa.
I have Mana Vault, which makes a ton of mana.
Okay.
I make 3 mana, so.
So it kind of becomes like it's not a combo card anymore. It's just like this card that draws you 7 or whatever, like 4 or whatever.
Yeah. So here I'm like, alright, I just play my mana, play my PR, and I just get to make.
Yeah, basically draw Lens and Ancestral, which is what you want here.
I'm lucky they don't have any more friends.
Yeah, like their draw is kind of anemic.
Yeah. Weird question. Is this the Phil Helmuth? I mean, the legend.
Do you want me to answer?
I think not to say that.
I mean, it's not the poker player. It's Sam Rolph. But he is a legend. Just like, not that much of a legend. Filthy MTGO hacker Sam Rolph, yeah.
Dude, that guy is not like me.
Okay.
Here is really weird. They actually have a
Solitude or something? Oh, wow.
I didn't know they played that.
I mean, I guess it's a new thing that they play.
I was like, Cavern Elemental, what could that mean? And it attacked me.
Yeah.
I'm in Walking Blister, I forced it, because I'm like, okay, I can just make a construct and block if I really want. And then here, we have a really, really weird math question.
So, why did you use the Mana Vault here? I didn't keep them... Oh, wait. Oh, I thought this was the last chapter for Urza Saga. Never mind. My bad.
Oh, okay. This draws me an extra card for relatively free. Because I spend free mana to make it and untap. And
Yeah. No, I thought you were gonna use the mana for the saga, and I was just kind of confused for a second. So you're gonna PO here, I'm assuming. Oh wow, that is a lot of cards.
Yeah. And now I have to figure out like.
You need to do the math. Yeah.
I think I win this time.
You win this turn? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I find teleport.
Oh.
But I'm short mana. Right
So
now.
basically, you need to survive.
Yeah, but it's pretty unlikely that I survive from this spot.
Why?
Because they just played like Ballista that time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I survive with the construct.
Yeah, like the construct. So, like, do you think their card in hand is like a Swords to Plashers or something? But even that keeps you alive.
Yeah. I don't really know what it could be. But if it's like a Ballista, I'd probably live if I just make the Urza Saga line.
So what do you do here?
I cast Forecast, and I draw Black Lotus Mana Crypt.
Do free.
Which, actually, so I spent like so much time trying to figure this out. So, you spend, I have 3 land drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Mana Crypt go from 2 to 4, and then I play the Lotus going from 3 to 6, and then 3 for the Time Vault, 2 for the Key, 1 for the Untap. But it took me about 4 minutes, like, or whatever, to figure it out. I just wanted to like make sure I didn't fuck it.
Also, you still need to find a way to get rid of the crypt after all of this happens, right?
Yes. And I have the what's it called?
You
I have
probably
the mana
find like.
as well.
Oh yeah.
But
they just.
luckily they conceded.
What?
Oh no, I bounced the crypt. Or I didn't play the crypt. How did I get the crypt?
Oh, you played the crypt. Oh, you didn't play the crypt. Okay, so the mana worked out without that. Okay. Then this makes sense. Yeah.
Wait, how did I make the extra mana?
You had 3 mana there, right? And then Black Lotus is +2, so that's 5. For the combo, you needed 6 mana.
Yeah.
That is a good. Oh, but you had Mana Vault in hand still, so that's plus.
Oh, Mana Vault makes me a mana, I guess.
Yeah, Mana Vault is +1 mana, so that was exact is. So that's why it took you 4 minutes to figure out.
Yeah, it was hard. But yeah, I managed to sneak this game through, and I'm like, right, got to meet Dom in the finals at this point. And
Okay, this is the semifinals, right? Yeah.
This is the semifinals of the event. So I keep a fine hand. It's got a Force of Will, which is what I'm looking for. It's got a
Yeah, you forced the Thalia.
I actually think that maybe I wanted to Force of Will the Mox Ruby, but I decided not to.
Mm-hmm.
I let this resolve because it's not pressuring me.
Yeah.
And I can very easily beat this card just going under it with the Mox Sapphire.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like
stop the threats.
And I got a Luminarch Inspiring, which I think will race me, so I decided to Force of Will it.
Pitching Narset, yeah. Thoughtcast is really nice because it actually takes into account, like, the discount lets you play through a Thorn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is super nice. It's, like, so unintuitive, some of these, like, discounts into...
Oh, yeah.
This Serenity is pretty embarrassing, not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is not great for me. I think I slam Urza here.
Yeah, I like slamming Urza, just like... Oh, wait, it's Thoughtcast, okay.
Yeah, so Serenity does destroy that Fawn and then Mox Ruby, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, that Serenity just looked pretty embarrassing. That's a good card, this Ancestral card.
Yeah, they play
Aspirant.
Mox Ruby. Sorry, they play Luminarch Inspiring for the count of Thalia.
Yeah.
And then, right, my Urza Saga's ticking.
You don't have actual removals in this deck, right?
I have 1 repeal.
Repeal, yeah.
Oh no, I have 2 repeals post board.
2 repeals. Oh, okay. You have 1 main deck. Okay.
So they wasteland my Saga before I can make constructs.
Sure.
And then they play a Revoker naming Urza. And I'm like, fuck, this is not great for me.
Yeah, this Thalia is... Oh, and you draw the repeal. Nice.
Yeah, I draw the repeal. So I'm like, okay, now I can repeal the Thalia, end of turn.
Yeah, you actually have 5 mana up here, right? Because... Or is
No,
a construct? Oh, right, you can't use it, right.
Yeah.
Revoker stops mana abilities, but not lens, and pitting... Yeah, it's really confusing.
Yeah. So here they play Ballista for 1, put a counter on the Thalia. So now I get to repeal the Thalia, not take the damage.
Weird sequencing from them, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy from here. So like now I get to Lotus. I think forecast. Now I can outmuscle them
with Karn structs.
Yeah. Here I cast PO. I think I should have bounced the Urza here if I'm honest, but I didn't. But yeah, I just rip like lots of mana. I play the forecast. I make another Mox.
Yeah, you get to PO. Wow. Well
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is when PO goes off, it goes off.
Yeah, I find.
Oh, you find Academy. Oh, you play the land, unfortunately, for the turn.
But here I just have 2 constructs, right? So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like you need to start killing this card, and you pump Ballista, trade it for the card, and this is amazing for you. Oh, they don't even trade it for the card?
Yeah, they're just gonna try and like kill me with their Ballista.
Oh,
Ballista.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I just make a token,
Time walk.
con again, and they can see it.
Yeah, okay.
But because I had this like backdoor construct plan, I wasn't pulling on like PO to get it. But I mean, the draw wasn't actually that good, but Serenity did look pretty excellent in this game. As it destroyed like 2 of my lands and my Mox, but it also destroyed their mana and their Fawn. So
yeah, it's like if that Serenity was instead just like, I don't know, just like enchantment removal or something to kill the Saga, maybe it's better at that spot. But I don't know.
What if it's Stony Silence?
Or just Stony Silence. Yeah, that's a good point.
I couldn't really beat that card.
Yep. You would have to draw into like enough mana plus repeal through a Thalia. Yeah, like you're not getting out of that if it's like a Stone Silence. I agree.
Yeah.
Too easy. Did you actually play versus Karatodon?
No, we chopped.
You just chopped, okay. That's why. Wait, but who won?
Who won? I conceded.
You conceded? Shame.
I lost the die roll, so I took the honorable way of conceding. If I won the die roll, I would have lost.
Okay.
I'm not saying gambled our result on the die roll. That's not what I'm saying. I said I lost the die roll, we agreed to split it. I did the honorable thing to concede. The point on trying to get me and my account back.
Hey, you have to be careful. This is all online. Okay.
Yeah, it was stitched forever. I've streamed before. I think I've been relatively PC today. I haven't said anything.
You've been absolutely, you're absolutely good. It's also like, yeah, you used to stream, right? But you stopped pretty fast.
I was actually up for. I was pretty close to partner before I quit.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did it for a month and a bit, but at the time I was in a relationship that was it wasn't. I don't want to talk smack about my ex, whatever. But it was quite draining time wise, and I had to sort of decide if I wanted to like Hail Mary at this streaming thing, or if I wanted to attempt to maintain my relationship at the time. And I decided my ex was more important to me, so I decided to stop streaming.
I think that's a good life decision, basically, most of the time.
Yeah, it was I don't regret it. And like we had, we were living together at the time.
Yeah.
But it was like, she had finished work and I'd be like streaming, and she couldn't like chill upstairs and like watch TV and just like chill out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like it's a big drain on people who live with you.
Yeah, and at the same time, like I was close to partner, but I didn't want to keep putting her through the rough times. I didn't want to like make it worse for her at the time, so I ended up taking a break from it. But I do live completely on my own now. And every time I'm like, I'm gonna get back into streaming, and I get really excited for it, and then I do it, and it's hard to like rebuild the viewer base that you have. I remember when you started, you were averaging, 8 to 15 people at a time.
Yeah.
And since doing the stream, where I'm a part of it and I'm watching the numbers, so because I got the stream open with the chat, and I'm seeing like the numbers go steadily from 40 at the minimum to like 60 and like bouncing around the area as people sort of wake up, go to work, that kind of thing. And it's just, you've done it so often that you've gotten it up to that. Mm-hmm. You've got like a viewer base that just want to see you every day. But my niche is that I'm a Magic player that plays Magic. I don't think people come to my stream to like hang out with me. Mm-hmm. And without creating that consistency, and as someone who I smoke a lot of cigarettes, right? So constantly the stream is like stop starting on entertainment. So every time I go out to smoke, I lose like half my viewers, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go watch you or our canister or God forbid croquis.
God forbid.
But it's hard to keep it up. But
yeah, streaming is a lot about the consistency, and that can be draining at times. But yeah, like I also think that like if you just want to fire up the stream, you can do that. People will come to watch and will come to hang, and maybe it's not like making partner. I don't think is a really important goal, at least at first, because it doesn't even give you that many benefits. It's more about the status. But if you're having fun, it's like even if I stop streaming consistently, I'm gonna stream from time to time just because it's awesome just hanging out. It's weird for me to play Magic without other people now because I just do this all the time. So that's a really big part of it for me.
It's also like a thing where like when you stream, it's hard to stream maybe not the big game, but it's hard to stream like PTQs when you're maybe not overly emotionally invested in the result, but you are going to be invested in doing well.
Yeah.
And when you're streaming, it definitely affects your overall equity in the event.
Yeah.
So, like I've seen you play off stream and I've seen you play on stream, and there's definitely a difference there, even if it's not huge, but you're always going to throw away some of your equity, and you've kind of got to decide, am I a streamer or am I a player? And am I doing this for viewers or am I doing this to win the tournament?
Yeah.
And, sometimes your goals are different to, the other people in the event, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. If you've got 70 people watching you, you're probably making more just playing a deck you like and viewers like and just playing it fine than what you would if you played like Blue-White Prowess every weekend and min-maxed all your lava cards,
Just play Urza Saga all the time. I mean, yeah, and personally, like, I'm not sure where I want to be. I probably want to find a balance, which I don't have right now because I don't really play off stream a lot, especially not the big events because I try to stream them. And I think you also lose equity not only in like the actual gameplay, but also in people maybe sniping you, or you can't take breaks, like you said. Like I can't just go for a walk if I got stomped in like round 1 because I'm streaming. I'm gonna be here. And that makes the event a bit tougher, but it's all about like trade-offs that you make personally, and I think for different people different things work.
I agree completely. There's always going to be sacrifice you've got to make when you're pursuing a professional career, and I honestly esports, but it is kind of esports,
Esports, yeah.
I also think I don't want to like speak out of time or anything, but you have this like branding that you're a pioneer guy, and I think that kind of like affects your overall growth as like it's definitely the least popular formats. But I don't think you're less entertaining with Doomwake, for example, or Gendrick. Like I enjoy your stream.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I do try and play different formats too. Now playing Modern is definitely positive EV because everyone wants to see Modern. But, yeah, it's kind of weird because what I used to do is I would just pick like the tournaments I want to play in a month and I would prepare for them. But now we just don't have tournaments, so I kind of just try to play a lot of Pioneer, and now I'm gonna try and like maybe I'll get back to Vintage because the format looks pretty cool, and Modern, I don't know. I'll just try and do so. Oh, I need to play Man Traders, Popper.
And
I don't want to though.
I mean, Pauper is miserable, but
It's less miserable than it was in the past, I think, because it's not 15-minute match versus Tron every second round, but you just
yeah,
die to Skrulls in 2 turns, so I don't know if that's better or not.
I think the Squirrels deck makes that good balance in the format that
Mhm.
like it stops the format getting that bad name where it's all just like grindy decks and it's gonna take you a million times, big mana,
Yeah,
then advantages. Like just being able to die in games of Magic when you just like fuck up a little bit. Oh, sorry, mess up a little bit.
it's okay.
Is you know, I think that's important for formats sort of maintaining their overall fun. You know, it's like I don't know if you ever hopped in like a league of standard when junk food was really popular.
Yeah.
It was exhausting. You play like 2 matches, and you're like, oh, it's 2 hours later. Like,
It would
the
be
field,
like, mhm.
you'd finished a league of VAD and you've lost 4 hours of your time and you went 3-2. You're like, well, I got a chest. That was cool. You just don't want to do it. Like Magic makes me
Yeah.
fun. I don't want to just sit there and be locked in.
And
That's
it's
kind of
like,
why
it's fine if you're preparing for like a certain event, right? If you're gonna play the PT and you just wanna jam matches, then you don't have a choice. But if you're just playing for like fun and trying not to format, there are better ways to do that, I think.
yeah, just watch a streamer or maybe
Yeah.
trying to avoid the long deck, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The Trons, the junk foods, that kind of thing. Like I think that is another reason why Magic Online is dwindling in popularity. It's because of like how infinite, how long the matches can go compared to Arena. Once you take out the complexity and uh, like Magic Online built on interacting with everything in essence of the game, like every phase, every stack, every board state. You always have things to do, and you always can react to it. Where Arena cuts the game down and gives you this like, you know, shortened version but simplified.
Yeah.
And the games are faster, it's shorter, and you have these pop-ups that, you know, make the chemicals in your brain be like, oh, I want to keep playing, you know? Like, when you finish a Magic Line match, you get a pop-up that says, you know, Ekaros wins or Philhelmuth wins. When you win a match on, like, Arena, your opponent explodes, and you're just like, this is sick. I want to do this again, you know? And it's that kind of, like, appealing to the public that dwindled Magic Line, in my opinion.
I mean, I definitely really like Arena in that regard. That if you just want to play casual Magic, it's the best way to do it. Like, by far.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually want to do that sometimes, even if I, you know, try and always be competitive and like try and play the big events and stuff. Sometimes I just want to jam like my red black Croxa brew into random people's decks and just play Magic, and that's great. But once you start playing like high stakes event on Arena, I don't like that as much. And then I go to MTGO because I get to simulate the game I actually like, which is competitive Magic.
Yeah, like the Arena at the PT level has definitely changed competitive Magic for better or worse. But that's definitely a different subject, and it kind of boils down to the MPL, the impact it's had on the high stage of the game.
I
But
think
Arena
it's
itself is awesome. Like it is great. You can pick it up any point in the day. You just click play, and you're in. You're playing Magic.
yeah. The barriers for entry are much lower than like MTGO. You have to get decks and pay money, play the match. You have to finish it. There you just play. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like why Hearthstone's done so well is they've understood what's sweet about the game, and they've created that like auto chess game, like Battlegrounds. And at any point, I even do it. I didn't play the game, but every time I like hop in a Battleground game, I'm like, this is sick. This is keeping my attention for 20 minutes and not a second more, and then I can just leave. I can do something else. You know? And that's what people want. They want that short, quick experience that you can do, you know, in between work or, you know, while you're not chilling out at home. Where when you play Magic Online, most people finish work, they're tired, and they don't want to like, they will, but they don't want to hop in and sit down and slog for a league or a prelim. Like, you have to be really motivated by the competitive scene to want to do that, and that's kind of why.
Yeah, I find myself oftentimes like choose not to play a league because I don't want to like start a league and then have to play the day after before streaming because I need to get the cards back, and like it's this whole circle that kind of discourages you from playing sometimes.
Do you like work a real job as well, or are you just full-time streaming?
I have a day job. I work at a store like 2 days a week, and I stream 4 times a week. So that's like that covers most of my free time. You know, like not most of it, but a large chunk of it. And I actually said I'm gonna do this until September, and then I'm gonna reevaluate like what I actually want. And I'm not sure what I actually want. I enjoy streaming a lot. I'm not sure I'm good enough at Magic to do this full time. I might be good enough in streaming to do this full time. I'm not sure I want to. So that's like big questions I kind of wrestle with. I'm gonna wrestle with for the next couple of months before I make my decisions.
For what it's worth, I think that anybody can do what I do. I don't think I'm the most intelligent man to do this, you know? I think there's people who are smarter than me that don't spend their time as well. And it's very difficult with either the current financial climate and, you know, how much money you need to make. But I live in England. England's quite quite an expensive country to live in. And I do fine doing this. And you don't even have to have that you don't have to win as many matches as me. But you could do this quite easily. Like, you just gotta use your time well, find like-minded people very invested in your success, and just like really work on it. But right now, I think splitting between streaming and being a competitive Magic player is just too difficult. And I've noticed that people could do that. People like Doomwake. Like, Doomwake's very good. Streams all of his events and definitely gives up a lot of equity by doing that because he's not as focused or making mistakes. But like, he can play. He queues for the mocks. Like, he's good. But he's also doing great at streaming, and you know he's reaching like 600 people now, and he's never gonna.
Which is amazing.
It'd be really stupid for him to chase like the Magic player dream instead of just like collecting his stimulus check from infinite people watching him, kind of thing.
Yeah, like when I said I don't think I'm good enough, it's not that I can't get good enough. It's you know, it's saying, well, to get good enough, I probably need to put in X amount of time and X amount of resources, and then I'm not sure the costs. I would like, it's more complex, but I agree. Like, I guess streaming and trying to win a lot do kind of interrupt each other, and yeah, it's like the decisions you need to make. At least I need to make, and at the very least, I'm pretty happy to get where I got so far. But yeah, it's I also think that like you saying that everyone can achieve what you achieved is kind of showing like your mindset and where you're at. Where I think that's like not the case for a lot of people. I think you're I think you're probably top competition on the MTGO, which is saying a lot because it's like thousands of people. So
thank you.
I
mean, I don't think it's even like I don't want to like oversell myself or anything, but like at this point I performed at the top level. I played against the PT level of people. I even think they're getting a lot softer.
You're even in the Challenger Gauntlet now, right?
Yeah, no, I'm live for the World to actually play Worlds, and I'm also live for MPL and Rivals.
That is pretty sick. I mean, that is like you're definitely in the top tier, and that's not saying that other people can't get there, but like it's hard. And it requires hard work, which you already put in, which is super impressive.
But it took years. It took like, you know, I already had a background in playing Magic and being good at it. Like I was making the PT twice a year previously, just through playing. But I didn't take it seriously up until December 2019 when I came back to the UK, and I had no money at the time. And I remember I was playing this Uro Titan deck. Oko Titan deck consistently trying to make enough money so I could pay my rent. and I had like literally nothing. I had no money at all, and I was fighting, and I was so invested in doing well and committing, and I just kept going with it. And now I'm doing. I was living in this tiny box room where these guys that I'd met once in a nightclub that played Magic rented out to me, and it was like 4 walls and a bed and a tiny desk. Like it was horrific, but they were lovely people and they were very supportive at the time. And I definitely high rolled on living with good people that they knew what I was doing, and they supported it. But I think I came back. I had nothing. I had no money, nothing like that. And I just full committed to Magic at the end of 2019 December. And luckily, after all these months of just non-stop grinding, getting it, and like I lost a lot of Magic before I got to where I'm at now. Like, I lost a ton. And I don't know if anyone remembers this. Do you know when they did the first wave of getting into the MPL and Rivals, where Chris Patello made it, and a bunch of other players like that got in, and it was on the point system on Arena, where every month they had one of those events, and if you got in the top 6, you'd make Rivals. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was like when the ladder actually mattered, right?
Yeah. But you'd have to be on top of the ladder to qualify for it. And I missed top 8 at the PT and like re-qualifying the week before in PT1, and then I had to play this event, and I had something pretty crappy going in my personal life at the time that kind of was in the back of my head, and I had to play this event where I was 6th on the leaderboard going into the last day of it. And if I made it, I would have made Rivals. Like, right, what I'm gonna do is not mess this up completely, and I fired up Team of Reclamation, and it was the week when everyone was playing 4-color rec, and I didn't have enough time to like figure out the metagame. And I won free. I won free that event.
No.
It was horrific. That night was awful. I felt so low, and I had Calcana also had the same thing, and we were like messaging each other like commiserations and all this. Like we'd worked hard for the ladder. And that was definitely like one of the lowest points of my career, and leading up to it, like you're gonna lose a ton of Magic, and that's what I did.
Just lose a lot and then you get better. But
Yeah.
I think that like the fact that you said you had no money, no nothing, and it's like this gives you motivation that other people might not have. Did you see Love, Death and Robots?
Yes.
This is like Sonny's Edge, basically.
Oh yeah.
I just rewatched it, so it's fresh in my mind. But it's like your stakes were just higher, and you were more invested. So it ended up working out because you put in all, like you just gave it your everything. Whereas me, for example, like I know that even if this doesn't work out, I'm still probably gonna be fine. I'm gonna go and find a job, and like I'm good because I'm privileged and everything's fine. And that might take away some of the edge for me, and that's how it is.
Yeah.
And again, it's like the smoking cigarette thing. I'm not saying everyone should just give up their money and like do like Sam, give up everything you own and just go grind Magic, and it's gonna work out. But
It's not.
But it's definitely like a big motivator there.
Yeah, like it wasn't intentional. Where I was like.
Yeah, I know. I'm not.
Where I'm like, I'm gonna give up my possessions and go to the wilderness and hope it works out. Like it was definitely like a very low point for me. But yeah, I definitely had that drive and that hunger to succeed the entire time.
Okay.
And eventually like I won some tournaments, had a bit of money around me, and I was eating properly again. Like
That is important.
But yeah, it was dark, and I started a Patreon around that time, just to help out. And luckily, I also met my ex-girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend, who was incredibly supportive and like worked with me through it all, and she saw that, like what I was doing, and I ended up staying with her for like we met, and then 3 days later I was basically just like living in an apartment. It was definitely an interesting time, but you know, I have a lot to learn.
High rolling the people you meet is really nice. High rolling to meet good people is really cool.
Yeah, like I was incredibly lucky, and I was also lucky that like when I started TSM, it's not the actual TSM, it's my version. I don't know why we. You know, all these players like were just grinding nonstop, like Hey Prince, Simon, and there was a bunch of others that were, you know, all just like in it with me every day. And that was also like incredible that like they want to test with me. Angrams as well. I don't want to like short sell him. He was also a part of it. But yeah, it just became this like this platform where I improved a bunch. And it's not really a grinding group anymore, TSM. It's more just like a place where you know, good players and people who have worked with us for PTs just hang out. And we just like hang out there on weekends, chat about cards, whatever. They're playing like a lot of Runeterra. It's kind of like the hive mind, except for like the people that like work with me for PTs.
Okay, that sounds good. I mean, having that kind of group is really helpful for both your fun in the game and your development. Because do you want to get back to some Magic, maybe?
Yeah.
Also, feel free to like if you don't have time, like feel free to let me know. Hanging
I'm good.
Oh yeah.
We can do that if you want.
Yeah, we can do some standard because I was actually curious to see how the mutate deck actually worked on Magic Online.
All right.
So we're gonna have some interesting games here. Hanging Lost Face.
This match is actually just like this is awesome. I love this.
Okay. Oh, Onion, I think for most people like Magic is obviously both Sam and I are pretty much privileged for being able to play and make money off of Magic. And it's kind of weird because we're like kind of by definition making money off of other people, in a sense. Because but like that's like some people play to have fun, some people play to try and make money, and like it's like off of you, Onion, specifically you. And like Magic is different things for different people, which I think is awesome. It's just great to have this possibility.
Like, people don't have to be mono competitive with it.
Yeah.
You know? You just chill. Alright, I'll do this review, and this is gonna be quite a lengthy one. This is a very long match.
Okay.
It's against Rogues, and this is like an epic match.
Man, Rogues is such a tough deck to play against.
Yes. So we'll start
here. So your hand.
It's what I want. I have 2 removal spells off this. I have a dragon. I have a mutator. So
I was about to say, being on the play with like double burn spell is super nice. Like you're not gonna get double crab this game, and that's a good start.
Absolutely. I draw another mutator here, which I'm happy with. And yeah, here I play. You don't really want mana on white. I don't want to just play a bad rock, and then just stand by like 4 feet plus Heartless Act, whatever. I just want to leave up removal. So
okay.
They didn't do anything.
Which is weird. Like, what do you think of their hand once they pass with like nothing?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And that's why I'm confused. Because they played the 4 feet, so I'm like obviously gonna cast a removal spell. I cast the Dragonfire just to get out the grave.
Okay. Windrobbers, like whatever.
If I play bad rocket.
I mean, at this point, you draw the second one. It's kind of free. You get to keep your removal spell up. It's kind of fine, right? So, like, what's the plan in this matchup going long?
I didn't know. This is my first time playing it.
Okay.
So I was guesstimating the entire way.
Okay. So we're gonna guesstimate what we do here.
I cast the Fire Prophecy here just because I want to use my mana. I keep my hand because my hand's actually quite good.
Like, you basically almost have the combo in hand, right? You're looking for Unsubstantiate, I guess? Oh, well then.
So here I play my dragon because I don't have that many ways to interact with it.
Like, Drown doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And even if they Heartless Act, you just unsubstantiate your dragon back and you good, right?
They fetch, and I'm like, no, just Temple Stroke. They have the Heartless Act. I think I bounced my dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the only thing going on for you right now, so... I mean, you have the Drakes in hand, but... It's gonna be tough to mutate into one of them.
They just pass it back.
I just pass it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip an Alliance. Okay.
More lands.
I'm gonna recast my dragon.
It's worth noting you don't have a companion. Oh wow, now you get drowned.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a really good draw for them.
Yeah, this worked out perfectly for them. Seize the spoils. Oh wow. There's like no way you actually win this game, right? I guess they only have 2 cards in hand.
I play the Badrock. I play the Lord Dracus.
The Heartless Act. So you still get the 2/3, which is nice.
Yeah, but I can't really trade because I know I have Lurrus in hand. But they play a 4-thief, mill me. I think I draw and I break.
Yeah, this game they just like. You kind of didn't have anything going on.
Mm-hmm.
But games 2 and 3 probably revolve around you having what, Ox as your escaper?
I have Phoenix of Ash.
Phoenix of Ash, okay.
And I have things like Maze My Time. So I'm a little bit better. So there you go. Tap land go, untap draw, for a Phoenix. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Drawing the escape creature versus rogues. Name a more iconic duo.
I'm happy drawing it because I have things like Seize Spoilers. I think I might have Perspiring Command.
No, you sideboard. Okay, you sideboard that out.
Yeah, I cut these because they're bad against
So you're just building up. No, you're not playing your Phoenix. Oh, you found a removal spell, which is nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to like, if it counted the expressive and my dragon probably resolves, and maybe I can find like a counter spell or number expressive, that kind of thing.
So what? But like, why would you fire Prophecy in the main phase here?
Oh, because I exiled it to expressive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They cling to dust.
Oh, and this resolves, nice. And your hand is good. You don't need to change
anything.
If you had a favorite passage in hand, would you shuffle back the Phoenix?
Yes.
Okay. So
here, I play Phoenix.
Interesting.
I can play it in defense mode. No need to do anything. I have this checked.
Yeah.
And not into the story me.
Yeah, exactly. Like the priority is for them not to resolve a draw for now. I guess Spikefield is an awkward draw. I guess. Oh right, you can actually just do this.
I just mutate. They have to react, otherwise I'm picking up a removal spell or an expressive. They eliminate my Phoenix, and I'm like, you're an idiot. And then I kind of bait them. I'm like, yo, do you want to enter the story here? It'd be really good for you. And then they play Lures, so they kind of play around it. They Agadeems. And then I'm like, alright, I'm just going to reanimate my Phoenix. No, I play Dragon, sorry. I play Dragon, Mythical Dispute.
Yeah, and Disputed Drown. I know you're going to start attacking for, I guess, 4 in the air. You don't attack with the Lord Dracus? Yeah.
No, I want to trade the Lures.
Yeah. Or just like threaten the trade so they don't get you. And now they resolve the into the story, you're taking 3. This doesn't look very good for you. That's a good draw though.
Well, worst case here, I would get to resolve Dragon
plus Phoenix. Yeah.
That's like 9 damage or 4. But instead I'm like, alright, I'm expressive. Let's take a look. And I find another dragon.
Phoenix to the bottom. You hate. Oh, Phoenix to the exile? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to play Dragon here. I'm going to attack for 6, and then I'm going to play a defensive Phoenix to block the Lures. And then that way, I just have so many ways of, sort of interacting with them. And
this Lures actually doesn't do much because they don't have any creature in the yard for now.
Yeah.
So, like, that is a lot of draw force.
They into the story again, and obviously I'm thrilled.
They're just dead in the air at this point, right? It's just like, all of these cards don't do anything.
Yep. They're just like double crap into the story. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll block your Lures. I couldn't set up lethal anyway. And then we have like a puzzle here where we have to figure out lethal. It's actually quite difficult.
The puzzle to figure out lethal, oh my god. So, the mutate virtually costs 2, right? But you get to cast... It costs 4, but then you get 2 off of the dragon, but then you get to cast a spell, which probably targets the dragon as well. Oh, so they're at 10. Oh, and they have a block here too. Oh my god. So like just going mutate into removal spell is not gonna do it. That is only 6 damage. Oh, but if you mutate and get the Phoenix back, that is 9 damage. Oh no, you can't Phoenix back. Huh. What did you do here?
So,
do you have unsubstantiate? Do you have the combo here? You don't, right?
No. So you pay 4, you mutate onto the Lord Dracus.
Oh.
It becomes a 3/3 and it gains flying.
Mm-hmm.
You then cast Prismatic Command to deal 2 damage and make a treasure. You go up to 4 now. And then you cast Phoenix, and then you return 5 Prophecy to your hand with the Lord Dracus trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And then you use the treasure and the 2 mana remaining to cast Phoenix of Ash from your graveyard. You attack with all
Use
3.
the mana. Oh.
5 Prophecy.
Nice. Okay. Do you want to show like?
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I completely. This deck has so many options.
Yeah.
Oh, you target the dragon. Okay, that's what I missed. Did you have to target the dragon though?
No.
You didn't have to. You could have just targeted them.
No, I just want it to look cool.
Okay. That is a valid reason, I think. Well, it's been insane, like how good Phoenix of Ash can be versus like rogues when they don't have multiple fires.
Yeah, it's actually a very good card, surprisingly. It doesn't exile cards per mana as efficiently as Ox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the threat is just so good. Like, we got to use it to block a Wind Robber, keep them off Instant Story. Didn't get to cast that for a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was quite impressed with this card.
Like when I was playing Gruul when I was playing Gruul and Timur in Standard, I used to play a split of Ox and just 1 Phoenix, because in the late game it was just usually so important to find another threat that attacks, like on the spot.
Yeah.
And like when you have 10 cards in your deck, you don't really want to escape Ox. It's like it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
So game 3. Games have been interesting. Mm-hmm.
Goes, I think, about 17 turns.
Holy shit. Okay.
A lot. But strap in. I do win it. You'll see how bad it looks for me. So we mulligan that first hand.
Mm-hmm.
It just is like lands a dispute with the Lord Dracons, but I have to keep this one. It's not good. I put Bad Rock to the bottom because it's a little bit worse than Lord Dracus. Because Lord Dracus is cheaper than Bad Rock.
Okay. Like the mutate is 2 cards cheaper. Oh, and they have the Sherman Crab.
Not looking good for me.
Yep.
But they will Spike Field Bad Rock Lord Dracus.
Okay. That is. How many of each do you run?
4 and 4. But I think I might cut one in this. No, I did more one.
But you did cut the combo. You did cut the unsubstantiate, right? And that's the combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not good at just casting it. So I wrote 5 prophecies. I'm like, okay.
Okay. You can even protect it with the dispute.
Mm-hmm. The Thieves Guild. I allow it to resolve an Prismatic Command to kill this, make a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, they can't do anything. But I do it on their upkeep because if they have dispute, then they can't play it to the story anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I entered. No wait, no, I fucked it. No, I do it there. Yeah, okay, I do it here. I meant to do it on the upkeep, I just forgot. But if you do it begin combat, it's kind of the same anyway.
Yeah, I mean they draw the extra card. That's basically it.
Yeah, if I just played the land first to play it, I'd get max punished, but it ended up being fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I meant to do upkeep.
And now, do they even have the land? Okay, they do have the land.
Yeah.
And they do shock it in, but now you have dispute up because they didn't play it pre-combat.
Yeah. So now I pass Lord Dracus.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I can set up to play the mutated Lord Dracus next turn, and sort of falling behind.
And
here I'm just myself. I've milled 12 cards. There's no Phoenix. There's no Phoenix in my hand. I really need to find a Phoenix this time, so I can spend all my mana points.
Yeah. I keep being surprised Lord Dracus doesn't have flying.
Yeah, it also feels like it's a legendary creature because I keep calling it Lord Dracus. It's Lord Dracus, and yeah, it was a bit messy. But we milled over the Phoenix.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So now we have plays.
I was like, alright, I'll exile 3 cards from my graveyard and spend 4 mana. And I will trade it for a card in your hand. And they're like, alright, I accept. So we shake hands on that exchange. We're like, okay, brilliant.
Oh, and then they have the cling. Wait, so they chose not to cling before?
Yeah, which seemed quite strange to me.
Yeah.
But I think they probably thought it was fine.
They just figured that they have like the removal spell, but they had to use drown on this, right? That's a pretty good removal spell.
Yeah.
So now
we want to play around dispute, and now we're like, all right, we'll put it on the Lord Dracus.
But now you just get God, I mean, Heart to Sack just breaks this, right?
Yeah.
And the end of the story, and now you get to dispute, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Oh wow, this just works, and they're down to 0 cards in hand. Huh.
Yep.
That's really nice. Okay. Negate. Interesting.
And then we cast the Fire Prophecy, pitching the Hengegate pathway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, find another prophecy. That's great.
Yeah.
And you're like, they have the crab, but you're like 29 cards in deck. You're fine. You're doing good.
Yeah. I'm doing okay here. They could have, they can have a whole host of things here. But
they still need to draw into. They still have Lurus, so yeah, and they put it into hand, which makes sense.
So we already have the removal.
And now the second one as well. So this is okay. So you're definitely casting an Maze Mind Tome, right? Yeah. Any consideration for putting the other tome in hand and not the Prismari command?
I don't think I'm going to use Infinite Tomes. I think it's going to come down to decking. I think I just want the card that actually does something.
Okay,
and yeah.
I mean, this actually just kills Lurus or the Enforcer, which is nice.
Yeah. I decide to let this happen. Now we have another crab.
Another crab is a beating here.
Yeah. I'm like, alright, now I'm going to start falling behind. I'm going to get decked.
How many gold spans did you mill so far?
A ton of them.
A ton of them? So you're like, but you found another Phoenix of Ash.
Yeah.
Although they have the Cling to Dust. Interesting. Okay.
Now we play Lurus. They pick off the...
I wonder if that's a mistake. Like, if they should just cling your Phoenix at this point.
Yeah, that could definitely be true.
Like, I was here.
I scry Lord Dracus
to the top.
And now I get 3 Lord Dracus freeze.
Which is Pog.
Yeah. So I'm like, alright, scry, bottom the land. Prismari Command kill Lurus. Lord Dracus. Fire Prophecy. I think I hold the Lord Dracus for a time. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you get to keep up negate.
I just don't want to lose.
It's interesting. It feels like if they at any point cling to dust your Phoenix, it's gonna be so hard for you to actually win.
Yeah. But now I find the bedrock. So I can Prismari Command or mutate. I don't know why they drew a card. I think it's just important for them to kill my Lord Dracus here, because I just get so many cards.
Yeah.
Pick up.
At this point, What?
They have 2 minions here.
Oh wow.
So I kill the Thieves Guild.
Before they can melee with that.
Yeah. And I pick up Scatter, and I pick up...
I'm kind of surprised you actually win this game.
You'd be surprised if I win? I have 11 cards in deck right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd be surprised if you won.
They draw, and I decide not to use the castle.
Not to use the Fire Prophecy, you mean?
Yeah, to intertrust the castle.
Oh my god, and it's a failed passage.
It's the biggest punish imaginable.
Yeah.
And I still don't do anything, so I'm like, alright, I can win this game for anything. Because I remember that I have a Bedrock in my deck.
How does a Vadrock, why does the Vadrock matter so much? Because it gives it flying?
It gives us flying, and I can pick up a pile of Prismari Commands.
And just like burn them out, hopefully.
And just deal them 8, because I can cast 1, deal them 8, and then, get there that way. But here, I just get the Phoenix, I drag the fire there, grab, they dispute, I negate, because I'm like, alright, I just need time, and, I get in for 8, 5 here, and now they're Hellbent.
Yeah, and they're down to 11, they find a Windrobber, which is fine, and at this point, you're drawing a million cards and just killing them. Wow, that is impressive.
I definitely did not mean to skip the turns that much. I meant to do this one. But yeah, from here, I just like attack him down with Phoenix, counter, kill him with the Phoenix.
Nice.
But, yeah, sick game.
It feels like your opponent definitely screwed up by not getting rid of that Phoenix, because I don't think you win this game otherwise, right?
Nope. That was my last breath.
Yep.
I probably would have ended up killing their crab, casting Lord Rakkus, and then just using my cards differently. Or, just changing up a bit. But yeah, I was probably dead, because I knew my bottom 2 cards were Briggs. So I lost all my dragons, all my bad rocks had gone at that point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it wasn't ideal.
Wasn't ideal. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for rogues to identify when you're gonna win by grinding out and when you're just gonna like kind of burn them the mill way and like see what actually matters. Because drawing cards with the castle here was just not doing much.
Yeah, if they cling to dust, my Phoenix would be a completely different game.
Yeah, it just buys them so much time, and you probably can. Yeah, it's. I mean,
they gain extra free. They end up dying without using the plane. But
yeah, exactly. It's like, and you could have another escape creature in your deck, but it could be like in the bottom 2 cards, or it could be the Ox, and yeah, Phoenix just wins games. Nice, well played.
Thank you. I after I won this match, I just went straight outside. I just ran outside, just like. It was so sweet to win.
So you mentioned that you didn't play this deck before, right? Like
this is my first time playing it.
What?
This is my first time playing it in an actual match. Or match setting. That wasn't just testing.
So but did you test a lot? Because I know you tend to pick up decks like even without testing, just because you think you're good. And I usually don't do that because I'm scared I'm not gonna play them well enough.
I think that's just one of like my skills that I'm good at. And I think that was confirmed to me when I was winning a huge portion of testing games. When we were testing, I think I'm just very good at playing on autopilot and just chilling like that. And no matter what deck I play, I think I can identify good plans, that kind of thing. But I don't think I'm like the best technical player in the testing team. But I tested this deck, the PT, but it was a deck I didn't get the most reps in, or would have played it or tour. I do kind of wish I played it instead of Naya, but I think Naya was a good choice for that event too.
Yeah, you did well with Naya, right? And did Simon do well with Naya as well?
Simon wasn't qualified. Eli went 3-0 in Historic, and then 0-4 with my Nihilist.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's right.
I went 3-0 in Historic, 3-1 in Standard on day 1.
That's not bad.
And day 2, I went 4-4, but that was enough for the gauntlet.
Enough for the gauntlet. You were like 1 win away from top 8 in this, right?
Yeah, I needed to positive record day 2, and I would have top 8.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's rough. Still a pretty good run.
The thing is like top 8 sounds like prestigious, and you get like the cloud and the screen time, but it doesn't actually give you anything in buckets or even that big of a money jump.
Really? Okay.
Like I got 2K in the PT, and I was fine with how I did. I think I played as best as I could. The last match at the PT I was playing, I was free fall, and I'm like looking at the standings, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm live for the breakers. Not like this again. I can't miss it again. Because of the last PT, I had the winning in where I lost a Doom Switch, but I missed it on breakers after losing.
Oh wow, that's rough.
Yeah, so it was horrific. I 10-5'd that PT, and then coming into this one, I'm going to the last round. I'm 9-5. I'm like, all right, my breaks are good this time, but the PT's bigger, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna make it if I don't. If like I'm not gonna make it if I lose, but I might make it if I win. And I'm going into it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please. I'm looking at the bracket. It's all like rogues and just bad like mutate, just bad matchups for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear like new pairing received like the old MTG Melee number, and I click on MTG Melee and I look over and it's Anton Del Moral Leon.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, a ringer. There's one like an old style PT. I bet they're playing something decent, and then I just look and it's just stuck blue-red dragons, and I think I just screamed. I was like, oh.
Wow, that's awesome. Because it's a really good matchup for you, right?
Yeah, Nia's best matchup was blue-red dragons.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then I mulligan to like kind of a miserable hand in game one, but I just had a Toski and they could never beat Toski. It won a Crown War, and I just played a Toski and I just drew 4 cards, and it doesn't matter what he does past that. Like I still have a Toski in play, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can Brazen Borrow it, but I'm gonna cast again.
I almost tried to counter Toski once. Luckily, I didn't do that. But I had something similar happen to me. Like when I won my nationals, I got to the top 8 and was like, I was paired against this player, which I was playing Grixis mid-range, and I knew I was playing versus a really good player, and I wasn't very confident at the time. And then they start playing, and I see they're playing Sultai Snake, Sultai Energy. And like, wait, I can actually win this. Because it was a really, really good matchup. They were just like the worst mid-range deck.
Yeah.
And it was so that like it gives you hope. You're like, oh wow, I actually got the good matchup. I can do this. That's just.
That is exactly how I felt. Like I was so filled with like Undertale, filled with determination. Like I was vibing it. I was ready. And at the time, like I was filled with so much adrenaline and just pumped up. And then I remember as soon as I won my match, I was waiting for Nathan to finish his. He finished his match. We called, and I just like sat on him. I was like, Nathan, I don't think I've made the gauntlet. He's like, of course you did. You definitely made it. And I'm like, oh no, Nathan, I don't want to look. And he's like, all right, just go outside, go smoke, and just I'll text you. And I'm like, okay. So I was outside on this wall outside my apartment, just like thinking. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is such a life-changing breaker. This might be the most like savage breaker I've had, and it would have been like my last 2 tournaments, the same result.
Mm-hmm.
And then we look at it. Nathan's like, oh my gosh, you made it. You've made it. And he's like calling me. He's like screaming down the phone at me. And I'm like, you're kidding me. You're fucking with me. Can't be real. And then I come inside. I'm like, Nathan, these players are cute. And like these players just like dropped out of the gauntlet of rivals. So they're going to make the gauntlet. And then Nathan's like, they're not eligible to join the gauntlet because they dropped out rivals. So I was like, what? So Matt Nass and there was another player that would have made the gauntlet had Wizards not implemented that rule, but instead I became the 7th player to break her in.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was.
Also, imagine actually knowing what's up in OP.
I mean, I didn't know it, but Austin, I texted Austin because I assumed Austin would know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. So, Austin's the only person who knows what he's doing at any time.
Yeah, Austin sounds like a really cool dude. From the little interactions I had with him and like what I got to see in like the Discord and stuff, seems pretty chill.
I like Austin. He definitely has a spotty past, but just like before COVID, there was that whole host. But like there's no one I've sort of met that is like as real and just like just shoots it straight, and like he's been very helpful to me and like gasses me up, and I think he's a nice guy. I like Austin a lot.
That's cool.
But he definitely gets a little bit of a bad rep from previous encounters, but everyone's got a bit of dark past, especially in that community. We're all very clicky.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also the Magic community really likes to, be quick to judge and, go with hot takes on Twitter. And it's like, most of the people are just fine. And, like, yeah, some make bad decisions. Everyone makes bad decisions. And, like, it's about how you're acting today. And if you make up for that. And, like, yeah. So,
Yeah, like the TN stuff this weekend was just like horrific.
The what?
The TN, do you know TN?
Oh, yeah. It's yeah.
Like I've like I consider TN like a friend. We've hung out T-Draft together quite a lot, and definitely over like last December we were like chatting like most days, and just to see like the response for him just being very himself and like people bring up his religion and stuff like that in negative connotations, it was just like what the
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you think he was rude, it's like, whatever, okay, he was rude. He told, like, a funny story. He was a bit of a douchebag, sure. Like, there's no reason to make a drama out of this. So.
I agree completely. But it was just sad to see, that like this kind of people is like what I'm kind of appealing to with my content and stuff like that. How they treat other people. It's a bit not disappointing, but I guess every community has its own drama and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you want to do one more match and then we can finish the stream? I think.
Sure. We can do one more match.
Yeah.
Which
Just
one?
I didn't even know MTGO can open more than one replay at the same time. Just so you know. I think we just saw round 6, right?
Oh yeah, we did.
We just did.
My brain's a bit fried. The quarterfinals was infinite. We'll pick round 3.
Okay. So what are we up against? Andrew. Andrew is good.
Oh, this is Rogues again.
Oh yeah, right. Andrew is a big rogue fan, right?
Concedes, I think, in game 2 from like a good board. I didn't really know what happened. Alright, so I've got a counterspell, I've got the 1 dispute. I'm like, okay. I look at my hand this time, I'm like, it's Badrock time. Badrock to the moon.
So your plan is just to use dispute to stop into the story and not the crab?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The way my hand's built is they'll be able to get a ton of cards into my graveyard anyway with any minion. I can't really stop that.
I mean, but you didn't know that, right? Any minion.
They just have so many different ways of putting cards into my graveyard that, I think it's fine to do.
Okay.
But yeah, here they have
And like obviously it pays off here. I mean, you're racing basically. Do they tap out here? That would be pretty pog. They don't.
And I just scatter it. Just because I don't want them to block my Badrock. It's like kind of my win condition here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a good draw because it lets me spend all my mana.
Yeah, and now you don't need to slam dragon or something. You can just wait, set up dragon for next turn.
Yeah. And again, I decided to do the
Okay,
play where, I play it on the upkeep.
It's pretty funny how often like Prismari command is just 2 mana shock.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Make the trigger. So I play dragon, they drown the locket, which I'm fine with. I still have dispute. And here, I think they play into the story. I dispute it. And
oh wow, this actually works. Okay.
Which gives me a good idea of what their hand is.
Oh, they have 1 card in hand, which would be what? Another into the story?
Yeah. So now I'm like, alright, I'll Lord Dracus.
Yeah.
I'll
like,
pick up.
No shot they have a removal spell at this point, or they would have cast it.
So here I decide to Prismari command, deal 2, make a treasure, and then pick up the gate. And then now I kind of have everything covered, and I have the Badrock to deal lethal.
Nice, yeah. Well played. And now they cast it. Oh, Love Mage's Domination. Interesting. Didn't see this one coming.
It's kind of a stupid card to play, because I could just like play the... just play him again. With the unsub, But yeah. I can't on the low mage that they can concede.
Nice, okay. So they didn't have... So do you think they had it into the story, or they just had the Love Mage's Domination?
I think they drew the low mages. They didn't want it. They drew this maybe. Or like... I have no idea, really.
Like, the 3-drop just getting there is pretty funny.
Yeah, casting the Badrock on turn 3 and then just dealing, attacking 6 times for lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sounds quite nice.
Removal spells too. Yeah, that's nice.
I feel pretty good about that.
Join the dispute always feels good.
I think they play another crab, and on this board, I think I'm happy disputing.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. It's like you're just not gonna waste the crabs.
Yeah. I like it more when I can just slam, Prismatic Command to deal with it.
Wow, that was a lures to hand turn. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, heroes play the Vajra, so I'm like, alright, it gets me on the board, stops them from casting anything.
Oh, when they're stuck on lands. Okay.
And they pass again. I cycle my Triumph, I think.
So is there a consideration for like not cycling here, not to put the 7th card into the yards?
Yes, that could be a consideration. I didn't really think about that at the time, but I think it's difficult for them with the texture of the game to just slam it into the story, and I have a lot of time to sort of figure out what I'm doing.
Like, you don't have the counter spell, but they don't.
Yeah, there's no way for them to like figure out that I don't have it. I maybe should have looted off the Prismatic Command, but it kind of makes me look desperate.
Yeah, oh, that's a really good point, what you just said. Like, making you look desperate is actually important in this game. Because your hand is not really well set up for, like, an actual, like, game where you just slam threats, right? And into the stories. Interesting.
Here I just cast again. They don't know that I have nothing.
Yeah.
But they slam it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's also pretty likely that they have multiples, right? Given.
Yeah.
And
There I go.
Classic John Phoenix.
The House Act, I keep my Lord Drakus, I keep the Phoenix.
Yeah, that's really nice. This basically forces them to kill the Phoenix, which is actively good for you.
And then they play nothing, I reanimate my Phoenix.
Does this take them off? No, it doesn't.
They try and unlock my Phoenix.
This is gonna take them off of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just do it again. Like,
yeah.
They cast Dispute this time, and I'm like absolutely fine trading 3 cards in my graveyard for anything. And they have a story again, play a 4 thief. I draw Dispute, which is a good draw here. I'm just like, alright, I'll just play Phoenix again, defend with it.
Anytime it's a defensive Phoenix, right? Wait, you just conceded here?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what's in their hand.
Okay. Interesting game.
But I think I was winning this game, actually. Like, even if I do have 6 cards, just like, I have the escape card, my hand's quite good, I have all the time in the world. Tarpon under pressure me, and play through all these cards. Like, I don't know, I think I was winning. Instead of winning, it played out.
Yeah, that's an interesting spot, though. Like,
they might just have 5 land.
Yeah, maybe they just had, like, nothing. But even then, you can't really attack them anytime soon. It's kind of weird. I guess, like, all of their cards are not really active because you're down to 6 cards in the yard.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Interesting.
Strange.
Just show you how good the escape cards are against rogues. It's like...
yeah. Maybe Andrew was too intimidated.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was.
You played well.
I played fine. Still have a lot to learn, but it's like...
aggressively, so that worked out.
Yeah. But it's also like, this was a really good learning experience for me. I'm really glad we did this.
Hope chat also enjoyed the content.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and maybe, like, if you don't mind, I might even get this onto YouTube. I forgot to record, but I can probably, like, edit out the first half of the stream, which has a bunch of music on it, and then...
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to put that on YouTube, you can monetize it. That's fine. I don't think I said anything too messed up or like, out there. So.
No, everything's fine. I mean, I tried not to, like, swear and stuff on stream at first, but then I realized it's like, as long as you do it moderately, it's probably fine.
Yeah, I think I dropped like 1 F-bomb, but like managed to say a bit.
I think it's fine. I mean, I don't know. I'm also not a native speaker, so it's really hard for me to tell, like, when, like, swearing is too much or not, because I don't have, like, the same sensibility to, like, the English words, which is kind of weird. But I also think it's fine. I mean, I think we're mostly a civilized stream. So thank you so much for joining me. This was just great. And
As long as I'm awake, I'm down to do this.
what?
It's like as long as I'm awake, like I'm down to be a guest.
So maybe next week after you like win more challenges.
We can hope. I think I'm going back to I'm gonna visit my parents this week, so I might be skipping the weekend of grind.
Oh my god.
But probably not. I'll probably just bring my laptop and play it while I'm in the garden. I think we're having a barbecue or something, so I think I'll probably play a lot at the barbecue, outside on the patio.
You could just, like have fun too and just like not grind for a weekend. That's also an option.
Taking a break, that's cow talk. No, like I have not took a break on a weekend since like Valentine's Day, and up until then I just did not take a break.
Oh my god.
But like I full sent for like 2 years, and now monetarily I'm doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like worrying about paying for bills or like being broke. But yeah, it was, I can probably take a weekend off. You're right.
Yeah, if you can afford to, I think it's good. It's good to take some time for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, chat. I'm gonna move you over to Paigonti. He's playing the bane of my existence, 5-color Niv in Modern, but I like Paigonti, so we're gonna move you over to him. And thank you for joining. See you maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days. I'm not even sure. And Sam, thank you so much again for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's see the raid go through.
We did it.